boys, Opie and Anthony, are about to make their return to the airwaves.
Opie and Anthony were pulled from the airwaves 2 years ago after a sex stunt at St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Opie and Anthony are back, so why won't the FCC be able to touch them this time?
The duo has signed with XM Satellite Radio.
Their contract with Infinity expired back in May, but the no-compete portion is up until October.
No arrests have been made. Police are still investigating.
The blonde one, two so-called radio shock jocks.
Our society needs borders, needs parameters.
You dick!
They get their jollies by saying, let's keep pushing the envelope.
They were doing what they were paid to do. Shot.
Even when there are bucks to be made, there's a price to be paid in terms of the cultural degradations that we do not want to be associated with anymore.
Are you adequately prepared to rock?
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning and welcome to the Opie and Anthony program. Why do my headphones sound different today? Why?
When in doubt, just turn them louder.
I'm trying to avoid that.
Crank them up.
How does your headphones sound?
They sound okay. Might be something a little more muffled, right?
Yeah, what's that about?
I don't know.
I sound okay, I think.
Yeah, there's something slightly not as sharp, not as bright.
It's like a little more bass.
A little more bass. What happened there, Mars?
This might be
Any
annoying.
adjustments made to the headphones? What's that?
The old adjustments. What? I reverted back to the old adjustments.
Is there a reason?
Yeah, they weren't. Something changed yesterday. I don't know why, but there was some change in there. Had to reboot it and reestablish the old settings.
Ah. I gotta just turn it louder.
All right. Fuck it.
Guess in 3-4 days we won't notice.
I guess someone has decided that we need to do this.
The headphones weren't right for us.
We were very happy for a very long time, and they've been happy for too long.
I kind of liked them the way they were.
Let's fuck them up a little bit.
A little bright. Now they're a little muffled.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. It's muffled. It's bassier. There's
Yeah.
something going on here.
You know how I test my headphones? This is a good test.
How is that?
It kind of gives you just like a wide variety of sound.
Yeah.
I don't mean to annoy the listeners.
Is it good, though, for you?
It works well.
Oh, is that horrid?
What's up, Steve?
Oh, not much. That was a lovely noise. Thank you, Jimmy.
I'm just trying to test.
I didn't realize how loud the headphones were until I put them on.
How are yours?
Oh, they're lovely now.
Cool.
Thank
Got
you.
a sound you want to make? Grr.
Grr. No, I'm sure you can
test yours out.
No, I'm sure you could make that one for me.
Oh, E-Rock's trying to get a body shot of Steve.
Ooh.
On Pal Talk.
You really did. You look good, man. You definitely lost a lot of weight.
Thank you, fella. I'm working out.
Toned up.
Big.
Stuff. I'll say you are.
Ooh.
Scary guy, Steve.
I'm just trying to get in shape.
Scary man.
I'm just trying to get in shape.
Stop. He's got to test his headphones.
Hey, we got to start the show off with a song for everyone out there that considers themselves a man's man.
All right.
This is for you.
He's a man, such a man, such a man. He's a real man's man. He's a man, such a man, such a man. He's a real man's man.
Oh, Oh, man, we got to cut right into our song.
That is a man.
One of our
song.
pals is on the line right now, and we want to say hi to him real fast. We'll get back into the man's man song in a second here. But first, well, he's a man's man. Sean Hannity, everyone. Sean.
Hey, guys. I'm running out with the kids, but they told me here I got to make time for O&A.
Nice. Sean, bang up job, man. You're getting a lot of props for your Howard interview.
You know, look, he's a very interesting guy to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because one of the things I like the most about him is he was dead on honest. I don't know if you guys know it, but I asked him about you guys.
Yeah. We heard the clip.
It's not like that's the reason why you're on our phone right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted my views on Bosnia and Iran.
No, not at all. Well, I want to personally thank you because we were saying for years that Howard gagged us at the old joint, and no one really believed us. I mean, there was a couple articles that came out, but most people were like, you guys are paranoid. He would never do that, blah, blah, blah. And you finally got it out of him, and we're very happy today.
Well, I'm glad I can help.
Yeah,
my job is to make everybody in the radio world happy, I guess.
How are your listeners responding to having them on?
Pretty. There were some people that, for example, when you guys were on the program, some people had a fit.
Right.
You know, people thought I was too nice to you guys. People don't understand why I take a very strong pro-responsibility, pro-First Amendment position, and I keep trying to explain to people, I said, you don't get it. If you can get rid of O&A, if you can get rid of Stern, you can also silence conservative talk radio and dumb guys like me. So that's my overriding concern here, but it was kind of mixed. There's some people that don't like having them on at all. They swear they're never going to listen again. They think I crossed the line. How dare I do this? But they thought the same thing when I had you guys on, so it wasn't really much different.
No, you'll be all right.
They come back.
They certainly do.
You know what? One of the things I think is kind of signature of my show is I like to have, guys of all opinions on. Look, you cannot deny his success. You cannot deny your success.
Right.
You guys constantly cross the line, and I keep telling you, as soon as you get in trouble, that, you have a home to be interviewed on.
I like when you brought up the fact of the gag order, and he answered and said, yeah, I had them quieted. I had them shut up because it was a war, and that's how he reacts to it.
3 times during the interview. We had a caller bring it up one time. I brought it up with them. I asked them, and I kind of pressed them a little bit on it.
Yeah, you did. It was great.
You did a great job with that.
But I don't think he was being completely honest as far as that's concerned because we worked for the same company. We were in afternoons. He was in mornings, so there was no direct competition.
Listen, Anthony, I remember listening to you one day, and you were like a big fan of his. And I said that to him. I said, I know you guys were fans of his. So I don't know why there was some conflict there. You and I have discussed this before. That, the perfect station would have been him in the morning and you guys in the afternoon. And thank God for me, that never happened.
That was happening in other markets, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
by the
was
way,
successful.
Now I got to break some news here.
All right.
All right. Any truth to the rumor about K-Rock in the morning?
Let's say there.
All right, now here it comes. Bill Clinton Jr. I can hear it.
Yeah.
Come on, answer the question.
We've been negotiating with them for a few weeks now, yes.
So they're so disappointed with David Lee Roth, you think he's on his last days?
Well, we got some major hurdles that have occurred, though, now.
Yeah, we would never compromise the integrity, if that's an odd word to use for this program, but we see it that way, the integrity of the satellite radio program that people have enjoyed now for well over a year and a half.
Is them going to be amenable to that?
That's the things that have to be worked out before we go on any terrestrial radio station.
This started about 2.5 weeks ago, Sean, and when it first was presented to us, it was a done deal. It was a done deal. And then you get lawyers going back and forth. And
that always slows up.
Then it's like, well, it's a done deal, but we need this.
Here's this one little thing, and then this one little thing.
And it's like, all right, well, we can handle that, I guess. All right, it's a done deal, but now we have to add this.
So you guys had to draw a line in the sand.
Yeah, it was pretty much, of course we would have wanted to do something like that, but it got to the point where we were like, we just can't give that much.
What are the odds out of 100 that this happens?
Right now? That's a really good question. We're kind of at a...
You're at a crossroad.
Yeah, we're kind of at a standstill at this point.
But now, could you confirm...
If you asked that question...
morning drive on K-Rock.
If you asked that question a week ago, I would say well over 90%.
And it's to do morning drive?
Absolutely, yes.
On K-Rock?
Absolutely.
You know what? And so then CBS, when they came out with a statement,
There's something about Sean Hannity that just makes you blab.
But wait a minute. So
We've been skirting the issue for like.
They were. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, these are the people that forge documents, for crying out loud.
Right.
Jesus.
No, you know, I mean, we love being on satellite radio.
Yep.
And, you know.
We love the freedom we get here.
If it compromises our satellite radio show too much, then we don't want to do it.
We
Can
have
you imagine the Sean Hannity show with cursing? How weird that would be.
It certainly would be a little odd
That'd
to
be a little
listen
odd,
to.
Anthony, don't you think?
I don't think it would have the same personality.
You know, as a goof, you should do that. Just one show.
I'll have to do it on your show.
No, I know. No, I know. Just do it on, and you know.
Sean Hannity says the S word, the F word,
yeah.
right on down the line.
You should do it for like an hour or two on just satellite radio.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting.
Can I ask you a question? You guys, do you really not like them, or is because there was one point when I know you guys liked them? So
I'll answer that. The fact of the matter is, when we came into New York City the first time from Boston, when we got fired, we knew you don't come into Howard's backyard and start bashing him. So when he said that, I knew that was not honest. We did not come into New York and bash Howard Stern. We had listened to him compete with other people in the past and knew that's suicide. We're going to go into his backyard where his listeners are and bash him. It wouldn't work that way. What we did was we slowly built up an audience that happened to be his audience driving home.
Right.
We had a common audience. He saw that somehow as a threat. He saw that there was potential here for the Opie and Anthony show to get an audience and perceived it as some kind of threat to him. Maybe it was because it was in his backyard, even though we were in a different day part. But we didn't start the whole thing. Then we had to start hearing copycat this. And we went into it very fun. We didn't attack him as a human being or anything. It was how we attack a lot of people, through parody. I would do impressions of him and how maybe he's not as close to his audience anymore because he's winging out to the Hamptons in the Howie copter and things like that to kind of chip away at this credibility that he had gained with his listeners. And it worked. It seemed to work. But instead of coming back to us on the air and battling that way like he had with John DeBella and many other personalities across the country.
I think the most brutal was with Mancow. We were talking about.
Oh, yeah, that was another brutal one. But he went behind the scenes this time. This is something that his listeners, if he's so honest, and he always put things on the air and always would confront people on the air, he didn't. He went behind the scenes to Mel Karmazin himself and had Mel drag us into his office and threaten us with firing if we did not stop talking about him. That is how that gag order got put in place.
You got to give him credit. He didn't dodge it when he was asked about it.
No.
Years later.
Let me look at my watch
later.
and see how long this has been.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Sean, this gag order went down well over 5 years ago.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago. And
I was
listening.
Gag on your order on you too because I was actually up against you, but it didn't work.
You were doing very well.
Sean, I was listening to your show yesterday, and that's what was so confusing. It's like, when it comes to competition, and I'm like, Howard, you ass, we worked for the same guy. We weren't your competition.
Yeah, do you think he would have sat there or been okay with it if Don Imus, when he first came to New York, when Howard first came to New York, Don Imus put a gag order on him?
Look, I'm not defending anybody. I'm not getting involved. But here's the point. He did say, anybody that I view as my competition, absolutely I want to silence him. He couldn't have been more clear about it. I mean, he didn't.
How is he viewing us as his competition? Is what I want to say.
You know, you guys. This may be a shock to you guys, but you guys do get massive ratings when you're on the radio.
Yeah, but he was getting
no,
Sean. He was getting his massive ratings in the morning. We were getting our massive ratings in the afternoon.
And it was the same goddamn audience.
And they said something like back in the day that we shared something like 75% of the audience. Mm-hmm. I might be, getting that a little wrong, but
75% cumulative duplication. That's almost unprecedented in radio.
Yeah, well, that's what was told to us. If it's a little lower, it's a little lower. I don't want to misrepresent the numbers here, but that's what was told to us.
You know, I look, off the air, he's as nice a guy as can be.
That's what I've heard.
He, it's funny because I know you guys off the air too, and people ask me about you two all the time, and I tell everybody, you guys are really nice guys, and you're smart and you're funny, and that some of the stuff you do is just outrageous because you just got this crazy side of you. And I say I'm just waiting for the call. Okay, we're available now. We're in trouble again.
No, please.
Yeah.
Nah, we're gonna.
I'll never forget Opie apologizing, kind of on my show. He's like, I apologize, but I really don't want to.
No, I didn't want to.
That's all right, Sean. We've all gotten the same apology here on the show, so.
Yeah. Is that right, on occasion?
On occasion,
definitely.
Yeah, by the way, what you did to that poor girl when you threw the stuff off, what was that? Oh, that was awful.
Wait, what? What did we do?
I was listening one day, and you had this girl on, and like you knocked her I don't know, chest pieces
Yeah,
off.
she brought a present in. This was a while ago, and Opie threw poker chips at her.
Oh, that was
I think
evil.
it was an angry day he had.
No, it wasn't an angry day. Her presents were awful. They're from a garage sale.
Her presents bothered you. The gift that she gave you that out of love bothered you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why can't it just be the meaning that counts with Opie? I don't know.
Where's the present she gave you?
I don't know, but I did not throw it at her.
I'm sure it didn't make it into your new house that you just moved into.
Please, nothing did.
No.
Well, look, I got to take the kids to school, but listen, if you guys end up, staying on XM and doing morning terrestrial, that'd be a heck of a development for radio.
Well, that's the puzzle that needs to be figured out, and that's
anyway,
why we don't have an announcement yet. So.
I think I got more out of you guys than you wanted to say.
That's all right. Let him talk.
Sean
Let him
does
talk.
that. Sean does that. All right, man.
All right, guys.
Have a good day, man.
Sean, what channel on XM are you on?
Oh, boy.
Well, because I use 124, is it?
Yeah.
124 this afternoon with Sean Hannity.
The right-wing channel.
All right. We want to talk
There you
about religion with you a little bit today because they're changing the rules about eating meat on Friday. I'm sure you're going to get into this on
For
your
St.
show.
Patty's
No,
Day.
you can't change the rules. No meat. You got to eat. Either you go all the way or forget it.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think religion is something that you can kind
you
of
don't
put
change.
a gray
all
area.
All of a sudden, I think God decided that sex outside of marriage is okay.
Did he?
Yeah.
It is not.
Really fast because we'll give you some show prep today. You should get into this on your show because
Yeah, a couple of cardinals in a few areas in Jersey, Passaic, and around that area are telling people that because St. Patty's Day is on a Friday and corned beef and cabbage is such a big thing, and a lot of Catholics.
Don't you guys think St. Patty's and churches and all that stuff ought to be taboo now for you guys?
Well, we're trying to slowly get ourselves back in the good light.
yeah, we're kind of just trying to wean ourselves off that stuff slowly but surely.
Yeah, we're trying to get back into
kind of like Dwight
graces.
Gooden. We're trying to, stay clean.
Kind of like Dwight
idea.
Gooden for the 400th time.
Yeah, good luck to you.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Sean.
Bye, Mr. Hannity.
He is the man, Sean Hannity.
You know, weird thing that they were talking about too, like with the meat, with the religion. Did you hear that there was now a lot of they're like trying to be moderate. Some of the Christians, and they're going that okay, Christ may have been the Son of God. We're not sure.
Oh, yeah. He might have been.
Possible.
Murder. Yeah, you could kill someone, but you need a good reason. What the meat thing, we all looked at it as pretty ridiculous growing up as a Catholic, but religious rules are religious rules. How ridiculous religion is. It's this belief in something you don't know, but whatever. For how ridiculous it is, I think the rules of religion should be the ones that there is no gray area. However this is written, that's how it should be.
Yeah, humans should not be
right.
changing
This is God's word.
The rules that were handed down.
Yeah, so you
from
can't,
the mountaintop.
You can't change them for your convenience, and it's happened throughout the ages. Now, I might not agree with them, and that's why I'm not like this practicing Catholic. But you can't then bend the rules because St. Patty's Day falls on a Friday this year. Let's allow them to eat the corned beef.
And it's the old gag. There's someone in hell because they ate meat on Friday.
Yeah, and didn't repent.
But I ate meat on Friday, and I'm in hell.
So now other people are eating.
And they're on Earth eating meat this year.
And they're okay because they got this special dispensation
right.
For the day.
Logically, it doesn't make sense.
No. And then they were saying you can make it up on a later day where you can eat meat, just cut back on meat. It's like a diet plan. It's like a God diet plan.
Mm-hmm. So you can kill someone if you save a life somewhere down the road.
Yeah, somewhere down the road. And then it all evens out. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I just
religious rules.
Book.
You know what?
Take them literally from like right when they published their first book. I'm talking burning eyes out, hand for hand type things. Gays, sorry, you ain't got a chance in hell in this one.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah, well, you do got a good chance in hell. But they bend the rules for political correctness, to make it life more convenient or easier for people.
To get more people to believe.
More people to believe. Yeah, if it's too inconvenient to get a lot of people.
They notice the attendance is down on Sundays.
Drop off.
How do we get attendance up?
You think the church
we need
sits there
promotion
and talks about things like churn rate?
Right. We need a promotion. The numbers are down on Sunday mornings.
And the one rebel priest always has bad ideas. Blowjob Thursdays. It's not going to work.
Right. All right, well, let's listen to some other ideas, and we'll get back to that one.
You know damn well the church does promotions.
That's why Dogma was so funny with Buddy Christ.
Yeah,
That's just great.
I think that's where I got that from because I was just watching that dumb movie. Not dumb, it's a great movie. That
Kevin
great movie
Smith,
the other night. So backing up a little bit, oops. There's something about Sean Hannity. All of a sudden, you just start blabbing.
I felt like I was on 60 Minutes.
I know. It's like humming. I
wanted to smoke a big cigarette with a long ash on it and sweat.
You ever notice when someone has credibility, they could get a lot out of you?
Yeah.
If you look at the person, they're asking you questions, and they don't have credibility, you're like,
Sean's, he was taking his kids to school, and he was in his Sean Hannity suit. He's in his suit and tie, his hair perfect, gets into his vehicle, children probably in size order lined up as they get into the vehicle, just like the perfect guy.
Still getting info out of you. That's the beauty of him. You guys are trying to, I better keep this to ourselves, and he's combing the kid's hair. All right, what's the scoop? And like you're telling him on the phone.
Blah, blah, there we are.
Blabbing and blabbing and blabbing.
Yeah.
And then, like, he let us off the hook, but I felt like we needed to just blab more.
Blab a little more.
That's what happened in my head, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, what are you doing?
No.
You didn't say anything bad. What's wrong with telling the truth?
It is the truth. I mean, if everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, so what?
If everyone's talking about it, then you gotta speak.
Certainly do.
And, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen with that anymore. It's not looking as good as it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
It's one of those situations where we can't really compromise this show. And our listeners have been worried about that. I read the message boards and stuff. I see it. They're worried that if we do something like this, regardless of who it's with, by the way, let me just throw that out there. It's one of those situations where we're not going to ruin the satellite show. It's not going to be ruined. Don't worry about it. The basic sacrifice it.
The basic sticking point was my new bit about like every hour I was saying that we should do like a whole big pussy fart thing, and they were saying that wasn't going to fly in commercial, and we fought it.
Yeah, that we figure is completely acceptable under FCC guidelines.
Just thought I'd throw something cute in there.
Check your headphones.
Hey, is this true?
Just my volume. Yeah.
Let's go to Flying Standby. Flying Standby.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
How you guys doing? You kind of moved on a little bit, but I wanted to tell Professor Anthony a little bit about the No Meat on Friday thing. Actually, from what I remember seeing, and I don't remember my source, but and I can take a look into this, it originally started because back in the day in Rome with the Vatican, the Pope wanted to sell more fish in Italy, so they made it No Meat on Friday so you can up the fish sales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is something I remember hearing about. I guess
is that fact or fiction? Is that a rumor?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Urban legend.
Let's go to Scopes and find out.
Where's Snopes.com?
I mean, Snopes.
I'll look into it and let you know.
Find out, because a lot of people thought it had something to do with the Easter and with the death of Christ and with that's what I always thought.
Yeah, I think it has something with a little more religious significance.
But he might be right though.
All right. Hey, backing up just a bit, we want to play the audio from Hannity's show.
Mm-hmm.
We want to play it with him on the phone, but he had to get his kids to school.
Family man.
But Sean Hannity finally got Howard to admit that Howard gagged us when we were working for the same company.
Yeah.
It's a very good day for us because the frustration we felt for years, and most people didn't believe, and the Howard Stern fans didn't believe that his hero would do that.
Yeah.
And his fans would trash our fans, and it was a whole thing that was going on.
And listen to his delivery on this, too, because it sounds like he's saying, yeah, I did it, and that makes it okay. Like, just because he's admitting it, yeah, I did. It makes it okay. No, it really isn't.
It's so not
You're being
okay.
a hypocrite. You're being...
he was fighting the FCC, and he was
freedom of speech the whole time.
He was the freedom of speech guy. That's why this is unbelievable news, that he's finally admitting it.
Freedom of speech, and he's making other people shut up. He's censoring. He is directly censoring another radio program where they would dump out of our show. You remember how angry he was anytime they dumped out of his show? Do you remember the anger that he felt? Well, we didn't like it too much either when we were dumped out of. And it wasn't the FCC doing it. It was Howard Stern's decree on our program that we be dumped out of, that we be silenced.
And he tries to
That's
say
hypocritical.
And he tries to say we were competition. We were working for the same fucking company.
Stop.
We were invited to the same Christmas parties.
Yeah.
We weren't even in the same time slot as
Nope.
him. Because, you know, these companies now, they own a bunch of stations in the same city. So he might have an argument if we were doing mornings up against him.
Yeah.
Might.
Yeah.
But we were working for the same company. He's making well over $20 million a year at that time. We were nobodies that just came from Boston. It was our dream to come to New York and do radio in our backyard, you know, being born and raised on Long Island, you know, just trying to make a name for ourselves. And here's a guy with all this power behind the scenes just making sure we wouldn't succeed.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you about one other.
But then again, you're a white guy, I guess.
Let me ask you about Opie and Anthony.
Okay.
Now, I've been on their show a bunch,
Right.
and they say that you would forbid them from listening. From mentioning you on the air.
Absolutely.
Is that true?
That's true.
Why?
There it is. That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
And that makes it okay, Howard?
Yeah, just because you said it quickly and as a matter of factly, then it's okay. I love that. His delivery right there was telling. Because he said it, he knew he had to say it. He knew he was now faced with having to fess up with this. Because Hannity's asking him directly. And instead of skirting it or trying to make it seem like it didn't happen, he goes, I got to say it, so I'm going to say it like, yeah, I did, okay? Now, next.
Almost like like the way you admit something that's very obvious, like, where are those throw pillows? Well, they're right there, I told you.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, okay.
Like a very casual admission of something that's very obvious. Like,
Did
yeah,
you
whatever,
do
I
this?
told
Yeah,
you
I
this.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked her 2 years ago. I told you that.
Yeah, right?
No,
Fine.
you didn't tell me. No, I did. Remember? Yeah, I fucked her. Yeah.
Fine. Now I admit it, it's over.
This is why
and there's
we
no
don't
problem
like
with
the
it.
guy. He's a complete prick.
All right, let me ask you about one other.
But then again, you're a white guy, I guess.
Let me ask you about Opie and Anthony.
Okay.
Now, I've been on their show a bunch,
Right.
and they say that you would forbid them from listening. From mentioning you on the air.
Absolutely.
Is that true?
That's true.
Why? Because you're a big advocate of free speech.
This has nothing to do with free speech. When I am
Really?
in business with a company, and they hired Howard Stern imitators.
Oh,
to
that
go
old
on in the
gag.
afternoon. They wanted to.
They did really
capitalize.
well. I mean,
They
they're
did very well. And
Love
the fact
Sean.
See, we love Sean.
Love Sean Hannity.
Because then even Howard had to admit, yep, they did really well.
Yeah, couldn't deny that.
Howard Stern imitators. That is getting so fucking old, it's not even funny. It's not even funny.
They wanted to.
They did really
capitalize.
well. I mean,
They
they're
did very well. And the fact of the matter is, I said to management, I'm not interested. This is Procter and Gamble to me. I'm a brand of soap.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone.
Disturbing to hear a Jew say that.
I have a plan every time I go up against people. If I have to go up against you, I
great.
analyze the competition and I think about you 6 different ways till Sunday. And I turn to Mel Karmazin.
Thank God I'm not.
When I go up against people, you weren't going up against us.
Wasn't against us. Wasn't morning drive. We were in afternoons. Same company.
You paranoid fuck.
And he's destroyed people that worked for the same company, for Infinity Broadcasting. He went and bashed the hell out of people that worked for the same company. So don't give the company line bullshit, and that he's it's competition. Worked for the same company.
The bottom line was if he said that you guys are imitators, the only way to handle that is to do it on the air, face to face. And if somebody is so bad, then you smash them, then you wreck them, you fucking ruin them. And if you can't do that, then you got to go behind the scenes and cover stuff.
I think that's clear. I think that's clear to everyone. He knew damn well he couldn't compete with us on the air.
No.
So he did it behind the scenes.
I gotta keep going back to the Don Imus thing. When Howard first came to New York, WNBC, the Don Imus situation. Imus was there. Imus was the shock jock of New York. He was. He was the irreverent, crazy, out of his mind, going to get fired at any moment disc jockey back then. And when Howard came in, he's the new guy coming into New York radio for the first time. And if you watch his fantasy movie, Private Parts, you'll see Imus being played off, for a few seconds anyway, as this real prick, Howard wanted to meet him, or he was brought in, and, he said, fuck Howard Stern. Howard bashed the hell out of Imus. Imus never went behind the scenes to get a gag order against Howard.
No, Imus just did.
He took it on the air, did what he could.
Yeah.
Goofed on Howard. Howard goofed on Imus. And they worked for the same company. What happened? What happened there? I mean, it's just. And then for what Howard did when we came into town. Now Howard's the premier shock jock in New York City. Here we come into New York. First time we're doing New York City radio as the Opie and Anthony show. And this guy turns around and just gives us nothing but problems with management behind the scenes. Gives us a gag order. And now we're sitting there going, what the fuck? Isn't this the guy that's supposed to be the champion of free speech that took all kinds of shit from Don Imus when he first came into New York?
I still remember when Imus lost in the ratings, too. It was like a ratings thing, and it was like, Imus said, if he ever beats me in the ratings, what did he say? I'll eat a dead dog's dick. It was something funny he said he would do if Howard ever beat him. And then Howard beat him. And I remember the line of something Imus was like, well, do you have salt? He was like, he made some stupid admission. But, I mean, that was it was an afternoon and morning thing, originally. One afternoon, one mornings. And then when he finally lost that battle, and he did lose the battle, he just admitted, I lost the battle.
And that's why we love Imus, because he has an honesty to his program, man.
Yes, he does.
And he has a sense of humor, and he's still having a good time. He's been around a really long time, and he still has fun doing his radio show. That's the key. We have a blast doing this every morning. We get angry, and we lose our minds from time to time. But in general, we have a really good time doing this program, and that's the difference. Howard's not having fun anymore.
I have a plan every time I go up against people.
You didn't
if
go
I
up
have to go
against
up
us.
against you, I analyze the competition, and I think about you 6 different ways till Sunday. And I turn to Mel Karmazin.
Thank God I'm not on in the morning.
I turn to Mel
Karmazin.
All right,
he said, thank God I'm not on in the morning, and then Howard addresses it also. But neither were we. Remember that through this whole thing. Neither were we. We weren't on in the morning.
He was doing just fine in mornings, and we were doing just fine in afternoons. He was number one in mornings. In the demo, well, pretty much everything. We were number one in the demos. We were supposed to be number one in. Where was the problem, Howard? Except for your paranoia.
You. I analyze the competition, and I think about you 6 different ways till Sunday. And I turn to Mel Karmazin.
Thank God I'm not on in the morning.
I turn to Mel Karmazin. Morning radio is the most vicious.
It's vicious.
Stay in this time slot.
I'm staying right here.
I said to Mel Karmazin at the time, I said, your 2 boys that you hired, who sound identical to me, will
of course
implode.
We do.
I give them 3 to 4 months. They're so desperate to be famous. They are going to do something stupid.
3 to 4
By the way,
months.
we were on New York radio for 3 years.
Yeah.
A little over 3 years.
And I think the gag order came after about 6 months.
Yeah, so there's more lies going on here.
Yeah.
We're going to implode after 3 or 4 months. No, we did just fine for 3 years, okay?
If we were on for 6 months, we'd have been a footnote.
Right.
Please.
Do something stupid. If they can't talk about me, they're going to go insane. Watch. And he laughed, and I've made other predictions in radio. And one thing I know is
if
radio.
you say, Howard,
and I watch them implode, and I watch them lose their job.
But if you're a strong supporter of free speech,
I'm a strong supporter of my free speech.
But that's the point. If you say
him.
that they can't talk about you or mention you,
right.
and you have the power because you're Howard Stern and you're making all
Absolutely.
this money for the company, isn't that a little hypocritical?
Sure, maybe, but you know what? I win, they lose.
Ooh, ouch.
Nope. That's it. It's a game.
You know what?
It's a war. It's warfare. And
But
let me tell you something.
But they admire you. I heard them
if
years
they
ago.
admire me, say it. All they would have had to do
But
is
they used
admit
to.
it. Well, they stopped. So the fact of
Yeah.
the matter is,
All right,
they
it's
came
war.
on. Their strategy was, Sean. Their
Yeah.
strategy was, let's bash Howard Stern because nobody's doing it at the company, and we'll look like heroes. My strategy is, shut him down. Let's see what you got. Watch him implode.
Hey, and that wasn't.
So we are at war, huh? Because we're winning now, Howard. We have more listeners than you now.
We were asked a bunch of times by listeners or people that didn't like us when we first got to New York, what do you think of Howard? You know, calls would come in, and of course we'd take them and put them right through. And there was an admiration there. We were Long Island guys in radio. You know, you grow up listening to the guy, and there was an admiration there. And, you know, if things could have worked out differently, it would have been great. Fine. We didn't start the whole thing. Absolutely not. We did not start that whole bullshit with him. We were doing our show. He was doing his. We started doing very well. And there was a perceived threat there by him.
He saw you in the morning. Eventually, he saw you guys doing exactly what he did, going from afternoons to mornings and really hurting him.
Somewhere else.
And it was nipping it in the bud.
And the perceived threat continued after we got let go.
Mm-hmm.
They continued to pay us for 2 years because they didn't want us competing with Howard Stern.
They
That's a
knew
fact.
what we would do.
That's
yeah,
a fact.
They knew we were going across the street to go to do mornings against Howard, and they didn't want it, so they protected him by paying us.
Paying us a lot of money to do no radio.
That's what happened.
And we had no choice in the matter. We could have signed this dumb piece of paper we talked about yesterday, where we wouldn't talk about him or anybody else from Infinity Broadcasting. And if we did, it would be a $100,000 fine per incident.
Right.
So we had no choice. We had to sit out.
That would have been nice.
Because how do we do a radio show?
With you digging in your pocket every day.
I win, they lose, man. That's dirty shit. That's only viable in a DeBella. Like if you have DeBella's wife on, which she did, that's I win, you lose. That's like, hey, stupid, she came on, tough shit, you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
But there's something about you can't fucking go to the boss and tell them to tell somebody to not talk
When
about
he would
it.
when he would bitch slap jocks back in the his heyday, they would fold, and it was this. You would look and say, "Wow, Howard kicked that guy's ass." Happened all over the country. A lot of jocks went down to him. He would get on and just pound him and pound him. DeBella's a perfect situation. Brought the wife on, the whole thing. It was just brutal. But there was never anybody that fought back.
And I remember Anthony and I, we used to commute together, and Howard started taking his little shots at us. And we had a conversation on the way back to Huntington, Long Island, going, no fucking way is this guy going to destroy our careers like he's destroyed other guys' careers.
Yeah,
we will fight this, and we didn't give a crap about the consequences. We're like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
So, when someone attacks us, I think the faithful listeners understand this point finally. Someone attacks us with like a little pea shooter, we attack back.
Oh, the howitzer comes out.
We're great at that.
Yeah.
We'll be the first to admit and tell the media we're great at fighting back.
And the first inkling he got of that we weren't going to just like pull a DeBella and fold, or a Mark and Brian and just fold. Without the ability to fight back.
He knew he was in over his head.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, now what do I do? Well, I'll use the power.
That's it. Then he went to Mel. And
I remember a meeting with Mel Karmazin, and Mel's like, I just wish you guys would get along, because you guys are making me a lot of money in afternoons and doing great, and he's obviously doing great. I just wish you guys would get along. And I go, Mel, that's not us. We could give it a crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're just doing our show.
Yeah.
We're not obsessed with this whole thing. We're just protecting ourselves.
Right. Wasn't going to be treated like
I got to be honest
and
with
the
you.
rest and go down like that.
I'm having so much fun at XM Satellite Radio. I really am. Howard is the reason that I had a miserable fucking time at Infinity Broadcasting.
Yeah, we were always being called in.
And, I started in radio at 18, and it was my goal to, make something of myself in New York radio. And we finally get here, and we finally start making something happen. And we were just getting killed behind the scenes in meetings every day. The Arbitron would come out, and we would be number one again. And it wasn't about being number one again. It was about, you're still talking about Howard. You're still doing this. It was unbelievable how miserable of a time I had when we were over there.
And people
it was
can
supposed
say,
to be some of the best years of my life.
People can say, oh, well, why didn't you just not talk about him? Well, we could have. If the fact of the matter wasn't that when we tried to get guests, we were being cock-blocked. There were other things going behind the scenes where we wanted guests on the show. They would be booked. We would announce it because it's something you want to promote, that we're going to have a celebrity guest on our program. They would hear it over there, and all of a sudden the guests, people would call and go, oh, we can't make it.
Right.
And then, boom, they're on Howard's show.
And when there would be some strange thing that would happen. Oh, he missed his flight. Oh, he came down with the flu. Yeah, and then, the next day, but he performed at Madison Square Garden or what have you, and he was fine. It was all this mysterious shit. Like, guests were just, canceling all the fucking
all the time. And we found out, again, and there was an admission, that they were telling people not to do our show.
So he did everything possible to make it tough for us to succeed, and we still succeeded.
And it was impossible for us not to talk about it. Like he said, he just didn't want us talking about him. Well, that would have been easy. You shut up about us. You don't cock block us, things like that. There wouldn't have been any talk. There would have been respect and admiration.
That was the most amazing thing, because we would just get beat up behind the scenes. Do not talk about him. We'll fire you. We got dump buttons. We'll just dump out. And we're like, oh, my God. And then we get, word that he's just blabbing about us on his show, going, look at those pussies over there.
I'll go out on a limb, and I'll be completely honest here. Do you know how bad you have to fuck up to screw me up as a fan? Like, I was a huge fan. Back when I was working in construction, everyone listened to Howard. Turn the radio on, the work didn't get done. You know, you'd sit there and listen and look at the clock and go, shit, I got to get something done. But the shows were compelling, entertaining, and you'd listen to them. Do you know how badly you have to fuck with someone personally to screw that up? It got to the point where I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, I went from a real big fan, really admiring the guy, to seeing what happens behind the scenes and going, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, well,
that was a tactical error. He was a smart guy for a long time. With you two guys, he underestimated, or maybe he did understand how vicious your fan base was and how loyal they are, but he should have embraced you guys. He should have embraced you guys and talked about you highly and pushed people towards you. And it would have been, why would you want to attack somebody who was helping you and treating you that way? It wouldn't happen. It was just a fucking stupid move.
So now it's an all-out war because it's not over. No. Because my whole goal is to make his life fucking miserable.
Because
Trust
now
me.
it's, we're on competing satellite radio systems. Now we are. He's doing mornings over there. We're doing mornings over here. Competing satellite radio. Now we're in competition.
That's right.
And there's nowhere to run. You can't run to Mel.
That's
He's right down the hall, putting on his rub-on tan. He's right there. You little midget with his rub-on tan.
So
he's
now,
right down the hall. But what happens? You can't have him shut us up now.
So now we'll see what happens, Howard.
Yeah.
Because this isn't over
And
by a long
we have
shot.
more listeners.
Here's, really fast before we move on, one of our pests got through to Sean Hannity yesterday. By the way, you know where that question came from, right, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of control in this business.
Matt in New Jersey for Howard Stern on the Sean Hannity Show. Hello.
Why won't this man answer that question?
This is not what I do. Hello, Matt. How are you?
I think it is what you do.
Hey, I'm doing all right. Big
Oh, you're
fan,
killing me.
Sean.
Thank you.
Just
He's
wanna
like
let
a
you-
jackrabbit at home. I
You can
know.
tell
I
we're
know
the big
something.
fan.
Yes. His wife's worn out.
Big fan, Sean. I just want
Thank
to
you.
say, I just have a question for Howard. Why are you bothering Sean about his values? I mean, there's actually people out there that take pride in their values.
We're having fun together. We're having a good time. We're mixing it up. That's
But
it.
don't
You got to
your daughter-
learn to relax, pal.
Daughter sees your values and sees all the stuff that you do and might react towards that.
Who sees my values?
No, your daughter.
My daughter. Yeah. Well,
Don't you think
certainly
your
my
daughter
daughters
sees
see
the
my
values that you
values.
have and is going to react upon. I mean, me and my friend Ramon are sitting here listening to this, and also you mentioned one other thing. I don't mean to go off, but you mentioned one other thing about censorship, and
No, Sean mentioned censorship.
okay, and you put a gag order on Opie and Anthony.
That's right.
That's right.
So
What's the problem?
you're censoring somebody.
That's right.
Don't you believe in censorship?
I do. I believe in censoring anyone who's my enemy.
You said you don't believe in censorship, but you're.
I believe in
putting a gag order on
censorship
Opie
when
and
it
Anthony.
benefits me. I'm like Saddam Hussein. My world is very simple. Go against me, and I will take out all my weapons. You need me running that war. Trust me. Osama bin Laden would be dead meat.
That's the same mentality
The FCC
that
has.
the FCC has.
Exactly.
You fuck with our values, you fuck with us, and we will pull out our weapons and
Right.
silence you.
This is censorship
That's
based
right.
on their own morality. He's been complaining the whole time that the individual members of the FCC were putting their morality on his program instead of interpreting FCC law and then directing it towards the show. They were taking their own personal morality as members of the FCC and implementing that on on his program. Hello? It's exactly what you did.
See, and I wouldn't even have, if you're pulling out, you want to say all is fair in love and war, if you admit that on the air the whole time, that's a different, if you say, yeah, this is part of what I do.
I'm an ass. This is what I do.
This
Go
is
fuck
what
yourself.
I do. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
If you come out and tell the listeners that and you're very honest from the very beginning, then there's something to be said for that. But when you hide it and pretend it's not happening, that's just, it's
And
dirty,
when your
dirty
whole
shit,
thing,
man.
the biggest thing that he has been known for over the years is to be this champion of free speech. He's one of the downtrodden, the oppressed, and he's out there fighting the good fight for everybody, for free speech. And then, I shut him up. Yeah, what? What do you want? I want to know why you're such a hypocrite.
Yeah, that audio is going to end up hurting him big time.
Yep.
Big time.
Have fun.
All right. So there you go. That was a big day for us yesterday. Thanks to Sean Hannity once again for getting into that discussion.
At least his presence over there is driving the stock price up.
Oops. 52-week low for Sirius satellite radio.
They were worried about it dipping into the fours. It is now way through the fours.
Was it 9 something at one point?
445. Who bought it 9 something? Anybody? I want to laugh at you. Who bought?
Oh,
you?
but you didn't. I was waiting for it to hit 10.50.
I bought some at I think like 5 and change at one point, and I still own it. I don't care though. I don't care. No, you know what it is? It's so bittersweet because if it goes up, I make money. But if it goes down, I get to go.
And you know why you don't care, Anthony?
Why?
Because you are a man's man.
I'm a man's. I only wish there was a theme that I could have that could play when I felt like such a man.
When you're drinking your Miller Lights.
Right. Let me
and
pop
checking
open
your
a Miller Lite.
And checking your stocks.
And, no, that's kind of geeky. Checking my stock cars. That's a man's man.
Very good. You're learning.
Little Miller Lite, little stock car racing, chasing broads, and maybe hearing a song. Is there a song that
Absolutely there is. To everyone out there that considers themselves a man's man, this one's for you.
Yeah.
Turn it up.
Work whistle.
He's a man.
Yeah.
Such a man. Such a man. He's a real man's man.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
He's a man.
You like movies about gladiators?
Such a man.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
He's a real man's man. He's a real man's man.
This is the man's man solo, by the way.
Such a man. Such a man.
Sing it, everybody!
He's a real man's
man. No one made me laugh so hard yesterday.
My CD?
Well, of course, Jimmy. When we were doing that whole stupid Bubba the Love Sponge thing. Fucking phony. He wants to fight me. I told him where I'm going to be Friday, and he's already backing out.
Yeah.
We're going to be at the Hard Rock Cafe for our St. Patty's Day broadcast.
Show up. It's going to be fun.
And it was getting all down and dirty, and I go, well, I want to respond in song. And the Culture Club.
Oh, I know. I heard that on the replay. The Culture Club.
That made me
Dun,
laugh.
dun,
That made me
dun.
laugh
The
so
gayest song ever.
You responded like a faggot.
That made me laugh so freaking hard yesterday.
That was good.
Let's go to Shane in Tennessee. Shane, what's up?
Yeah, OA, wispy ass. I was going to ask you what your call was like with Imus there.
Oh, my God. That's a
Any
great
Imus?
question. Well, first of all, we got the audio from yesterday. I guess this is our other radio jock segment.
Okay.
This is Imus on his program yesterday.
24 after the hour here on the Imus Morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. Hey, Bernard. Yo. Ask Julie if she still has Opie's phone number. I know he called me a while back, and yeah, I'll return it now, the call. I forget when it was, about a month ago.
Sufficient time has elapsed?
No, I need to talk to him. I need to get them to come to their senses, both of them. Come to their senses, both of them.
Fantastic.
I love that guy.
Dude, he really
You
makes
hear
me
the
laugh.
sense of humor there? Well,
yeah.
He called me a few months ago.
It's about time I returned the call.
It's so fucking
What a
good,
prick.
man. So there was all sorts of things going on. There was IMs going on and phone calls being made, and it was reported that Imus was going to call Ben's phone at 11:05.
Right.
So we're all just sitting around the phone waiting for Mr. Imus to call us.
The I-Man.
And the I-Man stood me up.
Oh.
Anthony gave up. He had new house shit to get to. Jimmy gave up. And I'm just sitting there like an anxious little fella waiting to hear from Mr. Imus. And I sat, and I sat, And I sat, and I'm checking the time on my BlackBerry.
Oh,
and I sat.
Poor Opie
and I
sitting
sat.
there.
Oh, how long did you sit for?
I was stood up. About a half hour to 40 minutes.
Oh, that's
maybe
sad.
I was just giving us some time to
Right,
wind down after
sad.
the show.
Yeah, you start thinking, well, maybe he was pulled into a meeting at the last minute.
Yeah, that's it. He'll call today, though, I bet.
I felt like a little girl being stood up or
Oh.
something. It was pretty awful.
That hurts.
So
It's New Year's Eve. You're looking at the clock. It's 10:15. Well, maybe there was traffic.
Look in the mirror again and adjust yourself.
So I don't know. Maybe we could find out if Mr. Imus is going to call us today. We tried calling him on his show, and he's like, "Oh, guys, do not do that."
He's not going to call.
But I want to hold out hope that Mr. Imus is going to call me back.
He's never calling.
He's going to call me back, isn't he, Anthony?
Opie, you got to move on with your life.
Are you sure?
Yeah. He's just not going to call.
I didn't get much sleep last night because I'm thinking about how the phone call is going to go.
It's like you got like he's your big brother.
Well, it's good that we finally have someone
the
in this
Big Brothers organization.
It really is good that we have someone in this business looking out for us finally.
Yeah.
I mean,
He wants to talk some sense into us, but then he doesn't call.
I think he wants us to shut up about the whole CBS thing, but then and we actually had a discussion this morning, Anthony and I, like maybe we should not really. Let's just let that lie for a little while.
Yeah.
And then Sean Hannity asked one
Gets it
simple
right out
question,
of
and
us.
we're just babbling idiots again.
That's fine. You know what,
You
dude?
know-
It's like, there's nothing. You didn't say anything awful.
Yeah.
So what? Everybody talks. Their companies, people talk. Is it a surprise the guy's bombing that maybe your names are brought up? What? That's not a big shot.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? If Imus doesn't call, I foresee a horrible scene. Opie in platform shoes on the Verrazano Bridge with Imus going, come on down from there. Come on.
You didn't call me, I-Man. Why didn't you call me, I-Man?
What are you doing? Come on down from there, Opie. Opie, what? Double Jake, get around and try to get Opie off the bridge.
Look, I-Man, I'm dancing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Opie, come down from the bridge. Yeah, jerk. Yeah, I didn't. I was busy with my own program.
You didn't call me, I-Man. You didn't call me.
Come on, get back in the car. We'll go out.
I-Man didn't call me.
Opie jumps.
See, now you're a cunt.
It is fun to be able to say that.
No kidding. See, Imus isn't scared of competition.
Imus rules.
Imus does rule.
Hey, by the way, remind me to give you guys little gifts.
Stop it.
You got gifts?
You do not.
You're my friends.
Were you the right strips?
It was a big day for Jimmy Norton yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking he's showing a little appreciation
Oh, no,
today.
this was before yesterday. I just forgot.
Lucky Louie t-shirts?
Are they Van Heusen shirts?
I said gifts, not fucking keepsakes.
Heirlooms.
Right.
Ooh.
Really?
I'm so excited.
Does it involve engraving?
What?
No.
Oh.
What is it, a charm bracelet?
I don't think he's ever engraved as the word slut across some girl's chest.
Exactly, with lipstick. or a target, and then dumps flew on it. Why do I have to go there?
Yeah.
Because it's real and it happens. I mean, let's be honest.
Excellent point.
Oh, by the way, it's Whip 'em Out Wednesday on the Opie and Anthony program. We have Token Gay,
right?
Who wants to explain the WOW concept for the rest of the country. Token Gay, take it away.
Well,
Good morning, Opie and Anthony, and welcome to another fine Whip 'em Out Wednesday. If you want to see boobies, all you've got to do is slap a WOW sticker on your car, truck, etc. If you don't have a WOW sticker, you can get one by going to opieandanthony.com or sending a self-addressed stamped envelope to Opie and Anthony WOW Stickers, 111 West 57th Avenue, New York, New York. Insert zip code here. What you do then is slip the sticker on your car, and when the ladies see the sticker, they will show you their beautiful boobies. And when you do get wowed, give the Opie and Anthony WOW line a call at 866-WOW-ME-05. And as a side note, you guys need to institute Whip It Out Wednesday for us gay guys.
The church doesn't allow it.
That's right.
And we're not going to change those rules.
We're not changing the church rules, sir.
Damn it. Well, happy birthday, Jimmy.
Can't you?
And hi to everybody on Pal Talk.
Can't you whip it out? No, my health won't allow it.
Does gay guys enjoy the old breasts no matter what?
It depends. You know, I don't mind seeing a good set every once in a while, you know. It's one of those things.
You see a naked girl, does it do anything?
Well, if I see the bottom half, it makes me vomit.
All right.
What about turned around? Like, do you just think maybe it looks like a young boy's ass or something?
You know how gay guys... Let me interrupt you. Here's how gay guys look at a naked woman from the bottom down. It's like when you drive through your old neighborhood, and there was a mall there, and now it's just a lot, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? There's something not here that's just...
Something missing that was very useful to me. All I see is a lot of brush.
Where's the old Hempstead lady's house? Old lady Hempstead.
All right, Token.
Jimmy's right. It's got to have the cock.
Oh, even the gay guys don't enjoy Whip 'em Out Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's what we're getting
fun.
at here. Thank you, Token Gay.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, Anthony had a very good observation. This Pal Talk thing is taking over this radio program. This radio show used to be just a 4-hour experience. Now it's just around the clock.
Yep.
The Opie and Anthony experience continues around the clock.
When the show ends, you can go on Pal Talk or numerous message boards or anything, and it continues. The relationship between the listeners and the program continues.
And they're hanging out at my brother's place.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing that's going on. They have a hangout online, a hangout if they want to be part of the real world.
Yep.
But what I'm getting at here, you notice that Stalker Patty has a Pal Talk camera.
I'm looking. I see Stalker Patty up there.
All in the corner.
Yeah. Well,
off center.
Her whole place is a corner. I just looked at it.
It's awful.
It's horrid. It's a horrid little cracker box she lives in. And, yeah, Patty has a camera and an account. And if you notice, she's got a green account, which means that that's the one that you pay full price for. You get all of the benefits of being a full paid member of Pal Talk and a camera. Now, recently, our listeners had put a charity together because Patty was going to be kicked out of her apartment. She was she had a bunch of back payment to make on the rent, and the listeners came up with a bunch of cash and gave her money.
Yes.
Which we made her earn by crawling on her hands and knees naked through mousetraps, blindfolded, until she found the checks. It was fabulous. So she got the money and apparently spent a little bit of it, I see. At least on a camera and an account.
I think she uses us to be quite frank.
Look at her.
And now she's holding up her cat.
She's got her cat in there, but I think maybe misappropriation of funds.
That's right.
I think perhaps we should
let's
sue to get it back now.
Let's contact the SEC.
And we can have the money taken away.
Please sue Patty.
Someone go and confiscate her camera.
Oh, please sue her. That would be the
Why
greatest story.
Are you suing me? A charitable event to raise money for her, and she's buying luxury items.
That's right.
It's a luxury item, Pal Talk.
It certainly is.
She's living high on the hog.
Patty, are you doing other things besides just Opie and Anthony fan rooms here on Pal Talk? Do you go into some of the sexy rooms that they have? That's what I want to know.
She's looking for the virgin witches.
Put your cat down and type, you ass.
You know,
All
that
right,
Pal Talk
she's gonna
camera
call.
is technically ours. I think E-Rock should go over there and just take it.
Take the camera.
No.
No. Here she is.
Patty, turn down the radio, please.
I just turned it off.
All right.
Let me come on.
Is that
Turn
the
down
Pal
your
Talk?
I have been using the internet to fill out applications online, which has been a lot of fun, and I'm on about 5 job hunting sites, too, a member and stuff with passwords.
Because you're unemployed now, right?
Yeah, but I had an interview with Starbucks this week,
Yeah.
and they're checking my references, and if all goes well,
She'll be a
I'll be
coffee
working
stirrer.
again by April.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I wanted to work for Starbucks. What I did was I got up and went to about 15, 20 Starbucks, left a resume, a cover letter.
That's
and a
wonderful. Fabulous stuff, Patty. Hey, Patty, how much was your Pal Talk account?
Well, I had a little help with that. Have you ever heard of MafiaLife.com?
Yes, we've heard of MafiaLife.com.
Yeah.
Well, he gave me my account.
Oh, look at that.
They've
People
all been
are...
at me to get a
Hence
green
the
name
free
for
plug
like a
for
month now.
MafiaLife.com.
Right. And what about the camera?
The camera, well, Generoso had an extra one, so he just mailed it to me because he didn't need it.
Yeah, obviously this camera's from like 1999.
Yeah, it's an old one. It looks like when you put a nickel in the Nickelodeon and turn the crank. Patty does a little dance in black and white.
I happen to love my camera. I think it's awesome.
Your camera stinks compared to everyone else's cameras.
Why don't you just take Polaroids and hold them up?
Well,
where,
I love my camera.
Well, you're not even in front of it. I'm looking at an old chair that looks like it came from the Foundling Center you were at.
It's actually hotter than her sitting there.
That chair is from Little House on the Prairie. Did Pa Ingalls carve that fucking thing? Look at it.
He probably did. Maybe
Look at
his
that
initials
chair.
were on it.
What
God,
year is that? What year do you live in? She's got an old
I don't know.
tilted,
It came
her
with the
wooden
apartment
bookcase.
when I moved in.
She has a wooden bookcase that's slanting and tilting over to one side.
Yeah. And she has to have a pillow on her wood chair.
All right, get the hemorrhoids.
And that stupid cat in that little room, there's probably hair all over the place and animal dander.
Oh, Patty, does that pillow on your chair just smell like ass?
No, I have to be comfortable because the chair is wooden.
Hey, Patty.
So are you.
Someone brings up a good point. Reno from Mississippi. You talked about the Starbucks interview 2 weeks ago on our show.
Yeah.
I said I was going for an interview. I just had it this past Saturday.
And, you know, all kidding aside, she's a great employee.
Very dedicated.
Very dedicated
Very
employee.
simple.
And I'm
so
going to be very good for
train her.
Starbucks, too.
You would be great for Starbucks. Because most of the Starbucks people I've run into lately have such an attitude.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. The customer comes first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be great. I don't know who we could call. XM has a deal with Starbucks. We should get you a job somehow.
I want to get hired. I really do. This place is only a block away from me.
Yeah, Patty
And I've never
wants
been
to
in
work.
that one
Patty
before.
definitely wants to work hard. She doesn't
Yeah.
want to just sit back and collect, checks from the government. She really wants to work. And she would be a great employee.
What a gal.
Well, if you know anybody from Starbucks, tell them that, because
Right,
I
with
really
that
would love to
Starbucks.
work there.
What happened to Godiva? Did I miss something?
She got the boot.
Why'd you get the boot, Patty?
Well, because new manager equals a little
glad they fired
conflict,
you.
I guess. I don't
Actually,
want
I
to
do.
talk about those
You know,
people.
it's easy to do, radio with Patty and just make fun of her. But I do care about this one.
Do you?
Yeah, she worked for Godiva for how long, Patty?
5 years almost.
She worked for 5 fucking years for
And I was
Godiva.
platinum
Dedicated
seller.
employee, would show up early, would do whatever they said. She,
That's right.
She,
and clothes and stuff when nobody wanted
all right, shut up,
to.
Patty. I'm trying to help you out.
it.
I mean,
God.
it's so
Yeah.
easy to turn me.
Quiet.
Don't you understand that? I'm on your side. And then,
Thank you.
and then she would bring gifts in here, but she wasn't stealing the gifts. She would work up what? She would
We got our.
used my employee discount.
employee discount, and then she every once in a while for doing a good job, you would get a certain amount of money that you could spend on chocolate, whatever, and she would use that to bring us gifts. She was a perfect employee. Well, they get a new management team at the store she was at, I guess, and they fired her.
For what?
For what, Patty?
I don't know. A lot of women managers can be that way.
But they got to give you a reason. What was the?
I'm going through my friend's lawyer now, who's helping me because they did the write-up slip, and there were some lies on it and stuff.
What were they accusing you of?
Oh God. I can't tell that on the air. I really can't.
Yes, you
yes, you
can. It'll help your case.
It's not the Enron scandal.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, really. This could be a movie
The
about.
lawyers are listening. She talked about the big chocolate thing of 06.
Oh no, she talked about the truffles.
I know. I really can't say.
Shut up, you can.
I
Shut up.
have to keep that to myself between me and the lawyer.
I bet you she was putting chocolates in her panties and doing all kinds of dirty shit and
All right,
pretending they were
Patty.
turds and eating them.
Patty, you're not going to tell us?
I'm not allowed to.
All right, you've just been bounced from the room.
There you go, stupid.
There you go,
No,
Patty.
no.
There it is. Bye-bye, Stalker Patty
No,
bounce.
wait a minute.
And now I'll put you on the ban list, so you'll never get in unless you tell us
Stop it.
what
Please.
happened.
All right, I'll tell you.
What happened, or you get banned.
See, don't you understand? Anthony has found a way to be God.
That's right. He wins, you lose.
Right.
I'll tell you what happened.
All right, what
okay?
happened?
But I got to be very careful how I word it.
Go ahead. Just
Okay,
babble.
there was one thing about me and a customer, but I didn't have anything to do with why they went to another store to shop from. Actually, it was like a corporate account.
And what were the allegations made?
That I was rude to her and stuff like that, and that's why they went to another place.
Oh.
But it turned out there were
Place.
2 other ladies in the same office who just used the other store and had nothing to do with the original client.
All right, so there's some big corporate account comes in, the account got lost, and they're blaming you for that loss of
Yeah,
account.
and
All
she
right.
needed an excuse to let me go, so...
Yeah, that's a good one.
was
Okay,
finding
Patty,
one.
I pardon you.
Oh, look
at you.
You are now able to log. You can now log back in.
What a bunch of shit dicks over at Godiva. Wow, that really annoys me.
I'm not even kidding.
What Godiva was it? The one, where was it?
Well, Opie knows where I was.
Well, I'm
Been in
asking
there.
you where it was. What Godiva? It's not a secret.
It was the one at the Time Warner building.
Yeah, that
Columbus Circle.
And I actually walked in there once, and she worked really freaking hard. She had pride in what she did. Most of these people that work at stores like Godiva or Starbucks, they don't have pride in what they do. She did.
Why don't we?
And it's easy to attack her and go after her. We'll save that for another time. This one really bothers me.
Let's try to get them on the phone then. Maybe they have a very accurate explanation, and they'd like to explain to the country. Shut up, Patty. I'm talking to my friends Opie and Anthony, the millionaires. Why don't we find out why they fired her?
It's obvious what happened. The new manager didn't like Patty for whatever reason. I mean,
for
she's a
whatever
little
reason.
strange. We know that. But she's a hard worker. And so then at that point, what they do in the corporate world, they're like, I don't want her around. So then they figure out how to get rid of you and fire you.
You ever notice whenever we try to help Patty out, it usually ends in disaster? So maybe we should just not call. She'd probably wind up having to pay for the losses that the corporate account lost.
Yeah, she's going to have to hold a press conference.
I am distancing myself from Opie and Anthony through their irresponsible phone call. I now owe $246,000 to Godiva.
She's going to have to hold a press conference like Howard did. I don't understand why they would do this to me. I was a dedicated employee for 5 years.
And they fired me.
So sometimes they also bring their own people in, too,
It's a lot like
Make
radio,
room
Patty.
for
It
them.
sounds a lot like radio.
Did they give you severance?
No, I got absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they just kicked her out the door. I'm serious.
Wow.
It's so
Scumbags.
easy just to beat her up, but on this one, no fucking way.
Pelt you with fudge as you leave. They just throw it at your head.
Patty, good news. We just booked you on Letterman, and all we need you to do is wear a T-shirt that says, I hate truffles.
I hate truffles, no problem. I could never eat them
When
anyway.
did they shit can you? I didn't even know this.
That was January 6th. If I get this job with Starbucks, that means I found a job in less than 2 months.
We understand what the month math is, yes.
Months.
Yes.
And if you,
Yeah,
but if you don't get one until next month, it'll mean it took you almost 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be
most
bad.
people are
Real
looking a
bad.
year or more in the unemployment office when I go there for counseling and stuff.
How's your rent?
So far, so good. I just owed this month's rent, and I paid a half of it already, so I'm fine with my rent. I'm doing very
right.
well.
All right, Patty. Anthony did want to ask you, what rooms are you hanging in?
What room?
Yeah, where do you go aside from the Opie and Anthony room, Opie and Anthony Live?
Oh, I go to the virus room a lot because it's smaller.
Yeah, but have you gone to the adult, some of the...
No,
sex-
I haven't explored those sites yet.
Patty, you can go there now and in the comfort of your own home see male junk without having to worry about it attacking you. Why don't you go look at a penis?
I guess I'll try that tonight.
No.
I'm on Pal
No,
Talk in
we
the
want you to
morning.
try
Patty,
it right now.
Try it right now, okay? I'm going to log on, all right?
All right, I'll try it right now, but it means I got to close out of the room and stuff.
We understand.
We understand
Do that.
what it takes.
And, Patty, turn your goddamn volume on your computer down.
I just about figured out how to turn it up. I don't really know much about computers.
You could have stopped at, I don't really know much.
That's right.
I do know one thing. I am interested in a computer program up in 125th Street where they give computer courses for free.
Yeah, they.
They
certainly do.
My horizon.
Because they want you to bring your own computer up there and
Right.
let them hit you over the head with it and take it.
Yo, man, I teach a computer course.
I will.
They have classes with computers in.
Yeah, I wonder where they came from. The last person that brought their computer to the lesson.
There's cranberry sauce on my keyboard, and
It's so sticky. It looks like ketchup.
Yeah, Patty, we're going to teach you COBOL.
Yeah.
We got to.
Is that a 1980s concept?
Actually, it is, Patty. Very good.
Now, Patty.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are you logged on?
Oh, right now I am. Yeah.
By the way, Patty, as Anthony gets you in one of these rooms, seriously, do not take a computer course. No one takes computer courses anymore.
No.
They have made it very easy for you to just figure it out on your own.
Yeah, but I want to know how to do Quark and Photoshop and how to do all the little tricks with the computer and how to fix problems and stuff like that that you might have.
All right, then go up to 125th Street and risk your life to be able to freaking.
I've been up there before for different reasons and stuff, you know.
Patty, you're logged on?
Yes, I am.
All right, do you know how to get to the list of rooms?
Get Patty's camera back on.
Sure I do,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, get the
That
big
right now.
Get the big
I'll
list
close-
of rooms.
Okay, let me just close that on everything.
All right, Jesus Christ.
And then,
she's an old 486. She's the
all right, now.
monochrome monitor. All right, now you got the rooms.
To browse video chat rooms. Right. What do you? What do I
adult
do?
contact on.
Patty.
Adult context on.
Okay, browse video chat rooms. Adult.
Adult, right?
Okay,
Now you see playground.
Playground. Let me see. Forza Rust, Lustful Ladies.
Are you in adult?
Oh yes, I do. I see playground.
All right, click on playground.
Okay, I just did.
All right. Now,
All right.
Now,
Orgasms for us.
now, okay, Patty,
Anthony.
you got to listen to me.
Yeah, preview some of the cameras. So
Do you see? Do you see porn, perverts, pervettes, flicks, and
Yes,
cams?
I do.
All right, get
Yes.
into that room.
All right.
All right.
Doing it.
All right, you're in there. Now click on Alan
I just
99969.
did. Okay. View video. Oh my God, they're doing something.
Right. That is a Negro having ass sex with a woman by a pool.
Oh, I got it.
No, don't get out. Look at the size of that cock.
That's right.
Oh, oh my God, what's he doing?
See, Patty, this is the fun of Pal to. Oh, look, see? Look, and that's something a black man doesn't normally do.
Boobs are fake.
What? You see what he's doing there, Patty?
Yes, I do.
Now, wouldn't you like a guy to be doing that to you?
I don't know. I have no idea what it's like.
You're a virgin. You're a 50-year-old virgin.
Well,
And
oh my God, somebody said hi, Patty. Don't tell me they know I'm here.
yes, they do. Why don't you rip your clothes off and cam up?
Cam up.
Cam up, Patty. Cam up.
I'm just feeling with seeing it.
Yeah?
Oh my God. And somebody else said hi, Aunt. The same person.
There's all right, Patty. Patty, go to Herbie Smoke a Lot.
Yeah,
All right. All right, punch him up, and look at what he's doing.
Alrighty.
I bet you see your
You
cat do.
video.
I bet you see your cat doing this to himself all the time.
Yeah, let me just. Oh wait. What the heck?
See, look what he's doing now. He's going to dig right in.
Oh my God.
Oh, Patty, you have no
my
idea how wonderful that is.
It's weird. It really is.
Look, there he goes.
Red. Oh my God, that's gotta hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt. He's giving her a rim job.
Patty.
Oh.
Yeah, explain to the rest of the country what you're watching right now.
Yeah, give us a blow by blow.
Somebody's butt and a guy taking his middle finger, which is the F finger, and going in and out of her butt.
Now what's he doing? Yeah, but what's he doing with his face?
What is he, fisting? Is that what fisting is?
No, that's not
Shoot! He's gonna hurt her. Oh my God, that's not the part a baby comes out, you know?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I hate her.
Isn't she
Oh
awful?
my God.
I hate her
Yes.
too, Jimmy. There's just something about her I hate.
Oh
Just hate her.
my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow, look at that. You get a good view.
You know, some other people followed me into this room.
Of course
because
they
they're
did.
Going
Oh, Patty, go back to Alan's camera now.
Yeah.
And look at what the black guy's doing. Wow. He is
Alan,
wrecking.
Okay, let me just. Oh, Alan, here he is, right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Let me just close out of this monstrosity. Here you go. They're having, it looks like a little conventional sex going on.
Yeah, but then he...
In the normal sense of the word. You know, wait a minute. They're posed a weird way. It looks like just a butt and nothing else.
No, her legs are completely up in the air, Patty.
Yeah, they're up.
And her legs are together to make it feel like the cock is even bigger.
Is this...
That's not missionary.
No. Patty, is this getting you hot at all? Like, are you getting a feeling down there, like when you see stuff like this?
Well, I don't know. If I was alone and on my own by myself, maybe. But now I'm in the center of everything. I'm not right under these circumstances. No.
Well, now you know the rooms are there, so when you're alone, you could log in and look at some sex and maybe play with yourself.
Really? Because I only go on in the morning for the show,
Oh,
like
Jesus.
a couple mornings a week, and just at night, in the middle
Oh.
of the day, I'm up and out.
We got the bob cam on that black guy. He's giving her the jackhammer, though.
It's like all I see is a bouncing butt, nothing else.
No, you don't see the ball bag?
Well, I see that too, but wait, there's two girls.
Yeah, it's called fucking, Patty. You see it?
Yeah, except, you know, as if what he's doing is not enough. You need them two to get in there, too.
Well, yeah.
I thought it only took two to tango.
Tango.
And Joey Stack is writing Patty, Patty, Patty.
I thought it took two to tango. Jesus.
You know, it takes
my
two to tango,
God.
but it takes three to lay down with a colored Patty.
He's got a lollipop there.
All right. Well, have fun in those rooms too, Patty. Don't just hang out in the O&A rooms. It's about diversity and variety. And go to the lesbo rooms. Just go to all of the porno rooms and enjoy.
And wait till the black guy pulls his mule out. There's going to be a Godiva chocolate on the helmet.
All right,
Okay.
Patty.
Okay.
Have fun. There goes Stalker Patty, everyone. A lot of people saying that Stalker Patty needs her own show.
Really?
Well, maybe we give her a couple hours on the weekend.
Yeah.
We need some kind of theme for a Stalker Patty
She
show,
would
though.
need someone to help her out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Kevorkian.
Hey, Jimmy has gifts for us, Anthony.
Yeah. What are the gifts, Jimmy?
Well, I wasn't.
Excited.
I forgot that the other day I thought of my those papers.
Oh,
are good.
somebody, God, I don't have his name, but sent me some newspapers from, it's the Cleveland Plain Dealer. It's from Wednesday, January 27th, 1943. It cost 4 cents. 4 cents.
Nice. Good
And
shape they're in, man.
It's all World War II stuff. Look at this. 300 bombers raid Greece. Nazis smash towards Kiev. And I love the war stuff. You know, I'm a big fan. But it's the little things in here, like the want ads,
right,
and the sales at the stores. Some of the editorial stuff.
Wanted black buck to carry water in from the barn.
Well, you're not very far off,
Well,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Because a wanted cook, a restaurant cook, colored. He wants a colored guy. And you could just write that in the paper back then. And this guy wants a cook, and it says white. He wants a white guy. It's amazing, but true. You
What
could
year is that
actually
from?
pick the race that you wanted.
1943.
In 1943.
You got to see the cartoons, too.
Pittsburgh Press. Oh, the cartoons have just some blatant racist black cartoons. But it's really funny. Some of the editorial columns about how it was almost like affirmative action like blacks wanted certain fire department jobs. And this one guy talks about how discrimination is not a good thing unless there's a reason for it. He says he like prefaces this whole thing about like discrimination isn't that good of a thing unless of course it's a good thing. Lots of ads for cigarettes. Okay. One of which is done by a former Olympic skier who now trains the ski patrol for the Army. And he's talking about how great it is to light up a Chesterfield because it's smooth on the throat. And as he trains the troops, he likes smoking Chesterfield. Imagine skiing, being an Olympic skier, and you're endorsing a cigarette. Only in 1942
That was 25 years
and
before I was born. It's very weird when you think of the world before you think it didn't exist before you showed up.
Yeah, and it'll continue to exist long after we're
Oh,
gone.
long after. Look at this. See that? Here's today's.
Yep.
Here's 1943.
Yep.
It's just a little yellower, but basically the same paper, the same format. Someday this thing could be all yellow like this. It could be this afternoon after it gets on Jimmy's bathroom floor, or it could be from Time. That tends to yellow paper.
So,
yeah, fantastic. I got to thank this guy.
well, you gotta thumb through it a little more.
Oh yeah,
We got to find some of those really strange cartoons we were looking at in the office.
Wonderful.
Yes, but Jimmy has gifts for us.
I
Anthony.
have gifts. I
Get
want to
some
get
gifts.
presents.
I want presents.
Well, I went, it was last week, my buddy Chris and my other buddy John from PC Richard, actually. It was a boxing event. That had nothing to do with them. They're just friends, and they said, we'll get you. It was like a cigar event where Jake LaMotta was going to be appearing. So I went.
Jake LaMotta.
Because I wanted a picture with him.
How old's Jake now?
He's got to be in his 80s. He's
Wow.
really kind of out of it, but again,
Oh, no.
he should be
Is
dead.
it?
I mean,
Yeah,
if you look
that's
at
true.
the age of Jake was fighting when these papers were out. Do you understand, LaMotta? When this paper was popular,
Where's
was
the sports section? He's probably in it.
Was a
Get the
boxer.
sports section.
Oh, my
Give me the
God.
sports section. That's the section I want to check
All
out.
right.
Because LaMotta fought in the 40s. I mean, I don't know if it was 43 or 47. It might be a couple years before, but he was boxing when this happened. Whether it was in the gym as a young guy training.
Jeez, how big do these fucking papers have to be?
I know.
Wonderful.
Where's the TV ad for TiVo and shit?
Yeah, there's no ads for anything like cool.
You know how bad singles ads were back then? There was no sexual implications.
Well,
looking for somebody who likes a flower on their hat.
in the real estate section, you could get a house on the water for $5,000 or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, but the dollar was different, right?
A little bit.
Really? How much? Grocery man, established city route, Pittsburgh, white or colored. That's nice.
I like it.
Guys really looking female help wanted and male help wanted in separate sections. People bitch about now, how shit is now. Just stop. Oh, boy. Here's the sports section. Look at this guy kicking.
Let's see.
What's he kicking?
Football, obviously.
He got that leather football helmet on.
Ken Strong was a runaway buffalo with the speed of an antelope.
They were talking about a baseball contract that was for $5,200 a year.
Wow.
For big Major League Baseball. They traded some guy from the Boston Braves to the New York Yankees for $5,000. And they didn't say trade. It was bought and sold. Like they were buying and selling people. Here's a lovely little comic called Cracking the Whip. And it's this black mammy peeking out the door going, "Get Mo off of the end there." And it's a bunch of young Negro children holding hands, and it's Eeny, Meeny, Miny, and Mo and Susie. And look, could you imagine this in the paper these days? It's your stereotypical cartoon black people.
Get Mo off the end there. What's it mean?
I don't know what it means. It must have meant something back in 1943.
Joe Palooka.
Joe Palooka's in there, Jimmy. Joe Palooka. I'm looking for the houses for sale. A lot of dressmaking.
Can I have one of those papers? So
Rosie
I can
the
peruse one,
Riveter.
too? I want to read a paper.
You get Roosevelt and Churchill meet in Africa to map out victory.
I remember when this happened.
Hey, look at this. Casablanca with Bogart and Bergman is up among best melodrama of the year.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, it's the movie section. Extra added. Let's see, at the Palace, it's not just the movies, live performance on stage in person, Louis Armstrong and his orchestra. Extra added, Stepin Fetchit, laziest man in the world. Dude, Stepin Fetchit, here's how it's billed. Laziest man in the world. That's a black guy. Gotta love it. The good old days. Fred Astaire and Rita Hayworth. You Were Never Lovelier. That's playing tonight at the Allen Theater. And then, what do they got? Jap food?
Jesus, this is
and Chinese food? Ads? I wouldn't go to a Jap restaurant back then. It's the enemy. Keep an eye on them while you eat.
I can't wait. I guarantee there's a post going right now. Good radio, guys. Reading the paper.
Reading the paper. Yes, we read the paper on the radio.
That's fascinating, though.
Yeah, get one yourself. It's the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Play along at home from 1943.
Boy, look at the science. Look at this. This is a one-page ad. These were big papers, too. They were huge. Like, they were twice the size almost of the Post each page. Science reveals cold sufferers need extra B complex vitamins. That's an entire one-page ad.
Wow, that was important news.
No wonder they died when they were 22 back then.
Lil Abner. Yeah, you
I
guys.
hate Lil Abner.
All right.
Lil Abner stinks.
Well, maybe we'll look at the paper during the break to get the good stuff. And
a lot of clothing ads, too.
Sure.
See, they still, back then, with the fucking ads, like they do now, you can't get through a goddamn newspaper without 1,000 ads.
Jimmy, I got to take a leak, so could we do the gift thing after the break?
I think that's a good tease. Hey, here's how you set the tease up. I'm getting good with radio. Hey, the gifts will be coming soon. What are they going to be?
Want my gift?
No, I don't like that.
That was a tease. People are on the edge of their seats.
Maybe use the word unwrapping.
What?
Because it's a gift and we'll be unwrapping it, or...
But it's not wrapped. I can't...
Why?
How about this? Pretty soon we'll be in the presence of presents.
That's good.
I'm coming down to the ATL. That's right, Hotlanta. Jim Norton heading down to the Punchline Comedy Club. March 16-18. That's this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Box office number is 404-252-LAUGH, L-A-F-F. That's 404-252-LAFF. March 16 through 18. Thanks, Steve. What's this note say? Atlanta has... Yes, it does. And I'd appreciate it if none of them came to my show.
What the hell is wrong with you, Jimmy?
Wow.
I
didn't read it.
You're checking out the Opie and Anthony program. It's Whip 'em Out Wednesday. And Jimmy's got gifts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we hear.
I have to, before the big gift thing that I've been making everybody wait for hours.
Yes.
Elo I just talked to, and I love, this is why I love Logan. He knows I was bitching because I wanted a little portable unit because I was screaming about them.
They're wonderful, the Helix. Oh,
I've been using mine like crazy. It's unbelievable how small this thing is.
Yeah.
You guys are going to love this when it hits the market.
Very tiny.
I've heard. I'll go get one too. So I was just talking to Elo, and he was trying to piece together one for you.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to send me one, but he's like trying to get a charger. And it's like, I don't want a demo mod. It's not to be a prima donna. I'd rather buy it because I don't want people's hands were on it.
You just want to open up a nice package.
Brand new.
You know,
they're
pull
in
out your
such
brand
limited
new
supply.
Helix.
Yeah, I'll just go to
They
the
really don't have
store.
many down there in Washington. I don't even think they have any others laying around.
Well, if they did, he would have had access to it.
Well, they have one, but they have to find the charger and find the earbuds.
I don't want. I won't use a used unit. I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I'll go to the store and buy it.
I'm going to buy another one anyway. It's that damn good.
Yeah.
So what do you got, Jimmy? Jake LaMotta, right?
Yes. Now I'm annoyed again.
No.
Don't be annoyed. Look, you're wearing your Black Sabbath T-shirt. Remember yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
2 days ago. Oh, hey, you know what? Used is better than not at all. Wait, take lemonade. I don't even want to sing. I just want to dance and enjoy the music. No reason to send me anything. I mean, I get paid the same as the guys, right? Motherfuckers down in D.C. How about helping a brother out? You know what, though? They do help me out in plenty of ways. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have any place to go every day. I wouldn't have a fan base, you know what I mean? I'm really happy that they do allow me to come on here and talk shit about their products every day. And I can talk as much shit as I want, but I'm not going to get anything sent. Maybe I can stand in line at Best Buy like the fucking rest of the schlubs out there who talk about it day in and day out and rave about it because the products are good. They're all so well built and well constructed, and that's why this company is beating the dog shit out of Sirius. There's no way to compete because technologically we're really advanced. However, I think they treat their employees just a little bit better. I think they give their employees a lot of shit. I'll bet you Howard's people aren't sitting around waiting for shit. I'll bet you Martha Stewart's people aren't sitting around waiting for shit. But that's because they work there. Jeremy Coleman probably traipses in and just hands shit over to people. Then again, if Jeremy Coleman walked in right now, I'm trying to think of something happy to say. Even though I'm snapping and dancing, I'm still thinking about the reality of the whole thing. But I'll just keep being happy because you can't be sad when this song plays. I have gifts to give, even though I get none.
I want gifts.
Let's get to the gift giving.
I don't want to explain that to the new listeners. All right, we will really fast. That's Jimmy's Como music. That calms him down when he gets a little out of hand on the program.
So I went to meet LaMotta because my friends got me in, and I walk in. It was amazing. I walked up, and Jerry Cooney is standing out there. It was his event. And everyone is so nice. So I get a picture with Cooney, and I walk in, and I'm like, where's Jake? And I find Jake. They showed me where Jake is. He's ancient. I mean, he's got to be in his 80s. He has a black cowboy hat on. But so I brought a copy of Raging Bull for him to sign.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything for Jake to sign. So I get my picture with him, and then I look over and I see Larry Holmes.
Wait, you got a copy of Raging Bull signed by LaMotta?
I brought it with me. I thought of it as
what a wow.
And someone else goes, dude, I wish I would have thought of that.
That is a great one.
I didn't even think of it until I was leaving the house. I'm like, you got to get something signed. I thought of pictures. And then I'm walking around, and I see all these people with boxing gloves. And then I realized they were selling boxing gloves there for $50. So I bought one. I had Holmes sign it, Cooney, LaMotta. There was a couple of the guys there, old real boxing fans, Emil something, old black guy, and some other guy, whose name I can't remember. But they were obviously popular guys way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought of my buddies. I said, what am I doing? I'm being very selfish. I have two friends who I would love to...
Oh, no. He's going to make us feel guilty.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I can't remember the last time I bought Jimmy Norton anything.
Get him shit.
Well, I thought of my pals. I said...
We think about you, too, Jimmy.
I know you do. I mean, sure you hear me on the replay on your brand new units. I decided... I said, I'm going to get... I'm like, how selfish. I didn't know they were selling boxing gloves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I go back over, and I say, give me 2 gloves. I want to buy 2 boxing gloves and take them around and get them signed for my friends. However, there's an odd dilemma I had. There's 2 gloves left when I get there.
Oh.
I have one, and I see the other one on the counter, so I say to the guy, because the guy says to me, there's only 1 glove left.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, no, there's one right there. And so he says to the other guy working there, well, is that ours? And the guy goes, no, I got it, like the other salesman. And the guy he was selling it to says to me, you need 2, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, dude, I'm sorry. I got to get this signed for my kid, which means I've paid for this first, so tough shit for you. So I'm like, all right. So now I have 1 glove and 2 people.
You're not going to make us fight for it, are you?
No.
We don't have to go into an octagon.
What do we do?
So...
A man's man.
They didn't have...
I'm more of a man's man than you are, Anthony.
I think right about now I could kick your ass.
I say a little man-to-man comparing straightens this whole thing out. And no filling up, that's cheating. Give me those ribs. So I had to buy 1 glove, and then I had to buy another gift, which wasn't as good as a glove.
As good as a glove. Because the glove is like, it's a boxing glove. It's a bunch of famous boxers.
Yes.
Sure.
So they had T-shirts and they had hats.
Oh, good Lord.
What are you doing, sweetie?
Glove or T-shirts or a hat.
My famous loser sound effects doesn't play anymore.
Well,
I don't know why.
Fix that, Hawk, before you get your teeth knocked out.
All right, anyway, go ahead, Jimmy.
So I had to buy 1 glove And the other gift wasn't a glove, but it wasn't that I didn't want to spend the money on the other guy.
Of course.
Well, Anthony has no problem with the T-shirt. He's not really a boxing fan, so don't worry about
Well, I didn't get a T-shirt. I bought a hat. Because the hat was easier to get signed because the brim of the hat was easier for these guys to sign.
But
It's an easier one to display as well.
it. Anthony's cool with a hat, I'm sure.
Here it is. Here's how I feel about the whole thing.
So look at. I'll just show you the glove.
Oh wow! Look at
This
that.
is his name is I'm sorry, Emil. Some other boxing fans, an older black guy. Let's see, we got Larry Holmes, Jerry Cooney, Jake LaMotta.
Jake LaMotta in silver.
On silver.
Wow.
I bothered him while he was eating for this one. I went back over to all these guys to get them for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like it's easier to sign than a baseball, by the way.
That would go great in my sports collectible room.
You don't have a sports collectible room.
Of course I do. You don't?
What do you have in your sports collectible
Jesus.
room?
Oh, so much stuff. I can barely even keep track of it. Lots of stuff. Lots of sports memorabilia that's signed.
What do you have?
I have I have Wayne Gretzky's stick, and it's signed. I have one of those. I do. I have a Derek Jeter signed jersey, or something like that.
You do not.
I have a
What is wrong with you?
No, okay, I don't have that. I don't have the stick either. I have a boxing glove that is signed, or I will anyway.
No.
When I build my sports collectible room.
Jimmy, who do you think should have the boxing glove?
Don't you? I love the way Jake signed this one, and then mine doesn't even have this. He signed this in silver because that was just the one I had.
Yeah, so it stands out.
I wish I knew this guy Ernie's name. I don't remember Emil. I'm sorry, Emil, because everybody else knew who he was. If you're a big boxing fan from the old days, you knew who he was.
Right.
And
just hand it over to who you think should have it.
Oh, this is. No,
No, not that the other gift isn't.
Let's
isn't
see
good.
the other gift.
No, the other gift is nice.
Let's see the other one.
other gift. Oh my God, it's the cheapest hat I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
That's like a hat an old guy would wear, man. Holy crap!
It's not. It's.
Oh my God! It's the worst.
It's got Jake LaMotta.
Dude, no offense, but that is the worst.
Oh,
hat.
it's not a great hat.
That is a hat you see in a retirement community in Florida.
However, this hat, it was either this or a T-shirt, and the hats were better than the shirts. And I figured the hats are easier to display. What are you going to do with a signed T-shirts and they get folded? At least the hat.
How do you display a hat?
That hat is losing T-cells as we speak.
How you display a hat?
Yeah.
Is you can at least put it up on something like that. You can hang it. A hat is not that hard to display.
Only Jimmy can get gifts, and now make me feel bad. Because I don't want to be an ass.
And you want to hear the irony, and what really sucks is the older guy who was trying to help me out, and he did. The guy was looking for another glove for me because it would have been just easier.
Yeah. Well, of course it would have.
Actually went outside to another area to see if they had gloves. He actually checked in 2 locations for me, and they didn't have another one. I see him an hour later, and he goes, after you walked away, we found another glove. And I'm like, let me have it. He goes, we sold it.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know.
It was.
Hey, by the way, we got some info on the Amelia guy.
Emil, yeah.
Emil? All right. Pete in Richmond.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Pete?
Yeah, I figured this might make you guys want that glove a little bit more. Emil Griffith is real famous. In like the 60s, he was gay, and he was a really sick
That's
boxer.
him.
He killed the guy in the ring.
That's him. That is absolutely him.
He's famous for basically the guy called him gay in the ring, and he just fucking went crazy. And there's a real famous, it's like a time-lapse photograph of the dude he killed right after he killed him, just hanging in the corner dead.
Wow. Yes, and I know that story is absolutely true. And he actually did not sign the hat. He signed the glove.
Oh my God! And the hat doesn't even have that guy's signature.
Who's the other guy? Who's another guy? Who's another guy? Torres or something like that? An older guy?
I don't know. I just figured I'd call and create.
I remember Torres.
No, this is so Carlos something. Is there an old fight named Carlos something? He's like a middleweight. My buddy John would know. I'm so annoyed because he signed my glove. I didn't get that. He wasn't on this. Again, I had to go back and do all this.
Yeah.
And Emil, my friend Chris Patrick got while he was eating. Emil just he handled. I got Jake while he was
signed
eating.
this faggot.
Yeah. Well, John told me the story about him. He goes, this guy, he said there's a story with this guy. He's gay, and he killed the guy in the. That's the guy.
Wow. I want to see that picture now. The guy.
Yeah, I would
just
love
dead
to
in
see
the,
that.
in the corner. If someone has it, send it
Wow.
in. We'll throw it up on the website. So, who did sign the really?
Well, the hat is signed by. Is actually. I mean,
the nice hat. Who signed the nice?
Oh, Anthony likes the
thoughtful
hat. So now you have no decision to make here.
I'll tell you something. I like the boxing glove, of course, because that is the top of the line and stuff. But this, Opie, contrary to your beliefs, this isn't about the value of it or anything. This is just Jimmy thinking about us on a night out, and I would be honored to accept whatever you would give me in that vein.
Because the glove would look good. I have to get myself the glove with a case, because gloves have a nice case. You display them in.
Yes. Yeah, I got one.
And
I got
I
a case that's
myself,
empty right now. Yeah, it's an empty case, and it's.
Though I would be happy with the glove more than the hat, I am not so shallow that I could not just accept a gift from you.
How about
I'm
this?
trying the Star Trek strategy
No, how
where
about-
there's two Kirks, and then the one Kirk goes, shoot him! He's the other Kirk. And then the other Kirk goes, Spock, shoot me.
I got the.
Just to make sure. Shoot us both.
One of the listeners got.
It's not working.
He has the idea. Abbott in New York. What's up?
Hey, I think you guys should do a contest for that glove.
And what's the contest?
That I don't know. I just thought that you guys should do a contest.
I have an idea, and I'll be the judge. It's whoever gets down farther without gagging.
Let's go to Pat in Boston. Pat actually does have an idea. Pat?
And you can put this right on good old eatabullet.com. I say a little fan poll. Let the listeners decide.
Oh.
I know I will lose. It will be a landslide victory for Anthony.
No, 'cause
but
now
I
that
am
you
willing to
said
do that.
Now that you said that, it's going to go the other way.
I am willing to do that. Take pictures of the two items.
Hawk did. Hawk's on top of it.
Can you do a poll on eatabullet.com so you get some action?
Why don't we, well, I'm actually in the process of updating that site where I probably have 60 new pictures to put up there. So why don't we do it on opieanthony.com or Foundry, because it's just more. It's more
opieanthony.com
or Foundry. Yeah, one of those. It's better for the
get
the
some
poll.
pictures of the great gifts Jimmy got us, and then let the listeners decide who gets what.
I would love to have had it on Need a Bullet, but it's not ready. I'll tell you who signed the hat. The hat is still. It's got
Jimmy Norton.
Jimmy Norton. It has Chris Patrick, my friend. It's got Jerry Cooney, Larry Holmes, Jake LaMotta.
Wow.
I mean, they were the three big. Larry Holmes is weird too, because I shook his head. He never does appearances either. I couldn't fucking believe he was sitting there. I mean, they must have paid him a lot of money. Larry Holmes does not come out, and he.
Ooh, that's the dead guy.
Wow,
huh?
let me see that.
Wow.
That's the dead guy?
Boy,
wow, man.
Did he beat him up?
Holy crap.
Wow.
Okay, guys, a man's man.
Yeah.
Can I see the glove?
At least he didn't fuck him to death. I would let you see the glove, but I have to be careful, because if Opie wins the glove, he may not have wanted you to handle it, and that I have to.
Can you hold it up?
I have to think. Sure, I can display it.
You are a twisted fuck. I bet you there were two gloves, Anthony, and
Why
he's
is he
enjoying
doing
this. I
No.
think he enjoyed just
Jimmy,
getting
why
one
are you
glove.
doing
There
this?
really was one glove. I would love to have avoided having this happen.
All right, get the gifts up on opieanthony.com and let the listeners decide.
I hated having two different gifts. You know how much easier it would have been to traipse in with two gloves and go here for you, here for you.
You know how many times,
Where's
like, Grandma would come over with two gifts for the brothers or something, and one is really good because Grandma doesn't know anything, and one turns out to be good, and one's like crap.
Look, I
Although I'm not saying it's crap, Jimmy.
Yeah,
that without the glove, that's a major, major gift.
I just didn't want to get the T-shirt because I figured that the T-shirt's too hard to sign, and this is a hard brim. It's just, these are older guys, especially LaMotta. Isn't going to sign a T-shirt? It would just be a scratch on the armpits.
Yeah. All right, well, is the poll up
Hey,
there
could
yet?
you do a jumping jack?
Oh, my God.
Please?
He's the one with the short arms.
All right, cool. That was nice. Thumb in each ear. That was good.
He almost got him over his
Thumb
head.
in each ear.
It was close enough, Jimmy.
He did a jumping jack.
All right, let us know when the poll is up. Are you willing to do a poll?
Yeah, that seems to be a fair way to do it.
It is the only fair
Let
way.
the listeners decide.
I really was annoyed that there wasn't a second glove. Would have been a lot easier.
You were annoyed.
Yeah, well.
At least I got the hat, though. I mean, there was nothing else. I tried to buy. The fact the hat was a lot cheaper did make it a little more palatable. But
yeah.
But I mean, I figured whoever. I didn't know who to do what with, so I'm like, whoever the fans say gets the glove. I mean, you're the one I'm going to sell
I
it to.
personally think you should bring the other glove in, and you take the hat.
I'm glad you think that. That's an interesting thought. The only reason I wouldn't do that, nothing to do with being selfish, is the fact that the other glove not only has Emil's signature on it, it has that guy, I want to say Carlos Torres.
Jose Torres?
Let me see it.
Scott in Jersey. Scott.
What's up, man? Hey,
What's
Jimmy,
up?
I think you were reaching for Jose Torres before.
He's a small guy. He's like probably a middleweight. He's like fought in like the 50s or 60s or whatever.
Yeah, he's a little bit older. He was trained by Cus D'Amato, who trained Mike Tyson. I'm pretty sure he was the first boxer to win championship in multiple weight classes.
Yeah, that might be the guy too. This guy was like an ex-champion, and I got him on my glove, and I also got Mitch Blood Green, who showed up last minute. So I would be happy to give that one away, but I figure that the gloves should have equal signatures on. Not that I kept the best one for myself, of course.
I will. I will pass, and I will give the glove to Anthony.
No, you can't do that.
I think you would really.
Then I'll
enjoy
feel
the glove.
guilty.
Well, who's
now? I got a guilt thing.
Who's honestly? No. Who's honestly? Because neither one. You're not gonna. There was 100 of these going around that night. I saw guys with gloves, and I thought, what a brilliant idea! I should have brought one. I just didn't think that boxers sign gloves. Because a lot of ball players won't sign a baseball for eBay purposes.
Anthony, take the glove. I'm sure I could figure out some way to display that hat.
We have to get you away. Whoever takes what, I don't care who gets what. I mean, whichever one would get more out of it. I want. Who's the bigger boxing fan? I mean,
Well, I think as far as boxing goes,
No,
we're
it comes down to the
probably
Jake LaMotta
equal
autograph.
fans, but the Jake LaMotta thing is huge.
Yeah, that's
and I mean, even the rest of the boxers on there. At some point in their
See, Jerry
life,
Cooney's from our hometown, so I mean,
Yeah,
that's an easy one to
Huntington.
get for us if we really wanted it. I've seen him a million times.
Well, actually, he gave me his card because he found out I was a comedian. So I imagine Cooney, if he was ever promoting something, he may even be willing to come on the show. That's just a guess. Because he does a charity event.
He helps
and stuff.
out a lot of old fighters.
Yeah, he does. That's what it's called. That's what the whole organization is about helping. You know whose son was there too? Mills Lane. Do you know who I should have got a shot with? He was there. Maybe again that whoever called in could help out, or one of you guys. Al Mackey, I think his name is. He's
my God, are you kidding?
Do you know who he is or no?
No.
Thank God, because I was really ready to kill myself. He's an old. They said he refed more fights than anybody. I think he's the old guy, Jake LaMotta. That old
Really?
boxer. Yeah, like the guy. I think he's the guy who was walking in Raging Bull when LaMotta was winning the championship. There's a little old referee walking across the ring in slow motion, moving his arms in and out like that's it.
Yeah.
And he has a little tough. It's one of the best shots ever taken in a film. I think that was Al Mackey. I didn't realize it until after.
All right. We'll throw the gifts up on opieandanthony.com and let the listeners
We'll let the
fight it out.
listeners decide.
My Raging Bull's a good one too. I wish I would have thought. I would have just bought more copies of that.
That would have been really cool.
I got Raging Bull signed by Jake. I got the inside signed.
That's perfect.
You know what? Maybe I could take my Raging Bull, because I already know I'm going to lose this. I'm going to take my Raging Bull DVD and wrap the hat around it.
How about? Is there? Wait a minute now.
And I was being serious. I don't know how to display that fucking
Chris,
thing.
well, the hat I just felt would be easier than the thing. I didn't want you to have to put up, hang it up like it's a hockey jersey.
I know I'm a glutton for punishment. This is not going to be fair.
No, see, because you're saying
I'm
this now,
campaigning.
Here's
you're
how
campaigning,
I can
and
see
people are gonna.
I could see it going one of two ways. Now, people could see that like people would expect Ope thinks Ant's going to win. Some
Right.
people would vote for Ope because well,
Yeah.
he's Ope. And then the people would vote for Ant because of the Raging Bull angle. I mean,
What needs to be acknowledged here, Jimmy's really into this.
No, but believe it or not, I'm
Why
not.
would you make such conflict?
Yeah.
But believe it or not, I'm not into it because for me, it would be easier to give my two pals.
All right, when's the poll up? I want some poll results before the end
a
of the
gift
show.
and receive the glory of having given a gift.
All right.
Right.
And receive the love from my pals. To have to give one a gift, it's not a comfortable thing. It's
But
really
now-
not. I'm not a sadist.
All right.
Or a masochist, because I know whoever gets the hat, there's going to be fucking problems. Hey, good morning, Jim. Yeah.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Hence, I shouldn't get the hat.
You shouldn't even get the glove because regardless, it's not going to matter tomorrow morning. I want But no, I want to. I wish that Chris.
You're more evil than I.
Chris or John would know if there's going to be another one of these events. I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, all right.
Jake does some signings for Piece of
All right, they're working on getting the poll up. We're going to take a quick break. We got Mark Spitz outside the studio, who used to write for Spin Magazine, right? He doesn't write for Spin anymore? Thumbs down on Spin Magazine. Something happened with Spin Magazine, but he knows the music industry, and we're going to get into some things with him in just a bit. All right, we got lots going on with the program. Don't forget, this Friday, we're broadcasting live from the Hard Rock Cafe, our St. Patty's Day broadcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing it from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. East Coast time. Oh, yeah. And then we might replay it if it's a good show. If it's an awful live show, then we won't replay it. Right? I think it's going to be a good show, though. We got lots going on. Yeah. We're going to be doing some karaoke. Stalker Patty's going to sing White Rabbit. Master Poe, we learned, has a really good singing voice and loves to sing love songs. Love songs. We'll get Big A up there to stammer his way through a tune. We got Twitchell showing up. We got the Hogan family showing up. Oh, really? Hulk Hogan and the gang will be at the Hard Rock Cafe.
I'm really annoyed I missed that. I would love to meet Hulk Hogan.
And Dr. Ian Smith from Celebrity Fit Club, I hear, is coming by with maybe a special guest.
Jimmy Norton?
Maybe.
I like guests.
Caddy Jimmy?
It's not definite, so we don't want to announce it yet, but we're working on some other things. It should be a really, really good time, though. I think we're going to have a lot of fun there. Mm-hmm. All right?
And before as our guest is coming in, can I just mention tonight, because it's for Kenny's son has like an athletic league he belongs to. Which is why we're doing a benefit tonight, the Stress Factory, for that youth athletic league. Ooh. It's a good cause. It's myself, Jim Florentine, Chuck Manganelli, and Don Jameson from Meet the Creeps. 732-545 ha is Vinny's repulsive phone number for that fucking, he should be beaten with a rock for that. But tonight only at the Stress Factory.
Yeah, it's for a great cause. Yes. Ben is also telling me Patrice O'Neill will be at the Hard Rock Cafe. Bill Burr will be at the Hard Rock Cafe. Rich Voss will be there.
Jesus.
Wow. Damien Fahey from TRL on MTV.
Star-studded event.
And also Laszlo will be making an appearance, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
We don't even really have to promote this. It's going to be just a zoo this Friday.
I wish I was going to be there. All the girls will show up with their vages.
Yeah, we get more girls that show up at these things than the old days.
It's because people think I'm going to be there, and the girls love me.
So that's a good thing, because we used to have to do live broadcasts and parties in front of 1,000 dudes and maybe like 3 slutty girls. And now it's getting to the point where girls feel comfortable. They can hang out in the Opie and Anthony atmosphere there. So,
right.
So very good. We'll see you guys at the Hard Rock Cafe this Friday at 11 a.m. Let's get Mark Spitz in here. He used to write for Spin Magazine.
Cool.
And he's got a book out, I guess.
There he is.
What's up, Mark?
Hey.
I am so glad the first thing you did was take off the sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. No, it's early, so I had them on. I didn't want to be,
We're like, oh, no. This guy's just hanging out outside the studio with his Ray-Bans on. Ray-Bans, right?
Yeah. No, I will make eye contact.
All right, good. And then I'm like, man, it's not that bright in here. And he did the right thing, and he took them off, and I appreciate that. We thought we might be dealing with a hipster.
Well, yeah, you are, but without.
Yeah, without the sunglasses.
I get called a hipster. I'm not any hip any more or less hip than anyone else.
Yeah.
I
just like to dress the part a little bit, right?
I get prejudiced against.
Yeah. You used to write for Spin Magazine?
Up until 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I got fired.
That's a cool gig to have.
It was great. 8 years. I met
8 years, and then you just got fired?
They fired me the day my novel came out.
Uh-oh.
Like literally the day it was in stores.
Why?
I maybe they were threatened by it because it was so good.
A lot of inside information in the novel or something?
No, I didn't name any names or anything. I think it was just coincidence, but it was just weird, because I was really excited. The book's coming out. It's like a year and plus building up to the release, like a record or a movie or anything.
Right.
And then I get this call. I'm taking my laundry out of the dryer in my apartment. And they're like, we need you to come in. I'm like, look, I know that like the magazine's been sold, and I know what you're like. Just tell me I'm fired, And they're like, yes, your job's been eliminated.
Eliminated. Why? Because they had a different management come in.
They sold the magazine. There's a new editor in chief, and I guess a new vision, and I don't fit with that vision.
That's always what happens.
I'm too hip.
Like, again, too hip.
Will you
It's
be able to
again
get another
like
gig
radio.
easily? Another gig?
This is my, I'm promoting the book.
Yeah,
and
now he's a writer. He's got a novel out.
Yep.
What kind of stories did he write for Spin Magazine? Anything we
I
would
wrote
know?
I wrote 14 cover stories since I was there, since '98. I wrote about the Strokes twice. I wrote about the Killers twice. I wrote about Morrissey. My first cover was Axl Rose in '99.
Did you? So you interviewed him?
No, I interviewed everyone else. I interviewed everyone affiliated with him except Izzy, who's disappeared, and Axl. Although Axl did call Spin, or my editor then, Alan Light, in the middle of the night to kind of rant and rave and maybe commit to an interview, and then he backed off. But
that doesn't sound like Axl. That's strange.
What the fuck is wrong with him? Like doesn't show up for gigs. It's like what's he got? Like one of the agoraphobia? What's the problem with this guy?
This is before he showed up at the MTV thing. This is '99, before anyone knew about the cornrows and the
whatever's going on there.
They're thinking plastic surgery.
Yeah. And I saw the show at the Garden, I guess the last ever show, and they were great. They sounded great, but it's just I don't get the look. I don't.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Oh, you mean when they got back together?
Yeah.
Well, with the other guys, with Buckethead and all that,
but I just don't. I don't get the football jersey and the kind of Predator hair. It breaks my heart a little bit.
Why the cornrows? The jersey, at least he wore in the what was the video? Oh my God!
Paradise City.
Paradise City, yeah.
Was it Paradise City?
Mean Machine jersey, yeah. So at least he wore it back in the days, but it's just gotten weird. He's kind of turned into a douche. Like this guy was one of the best.
Well, he was always a douche, though.
Was he?
I remember I saw Guns N' Roses, and who the hell opened up for him? It was, oh my God.
Great memories we all got around here.
No, for Skid Row, Jesus. And there was another band in Toronto at one of these, open air stadiums. It was like 100,000 people there. And Axl Rose made everyone wait for like an hour and a half. It's like, what are you doing? He was always a douche, Jimmy. His music was great. I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan, but he was always just a dick.
Yeah, he really did have no respect or regard for the fans at all.
He didn't give a shit.
90 minutes, he'd make you sit there and wait, or 3 hours sometimes.
Well, the famous story with Metallica, with James Hetfield.
Oh, with that riot. They had that riot.
Burning himself. And they basically went to Axl Rose, and Guns N' Roses said, look, you have to, pick it up here, because Metallica played a shortened set because James Hetfield burned himself on stage. And Axl and Guns N' Roses were like, yeah, whatever. And they played a short set, and that's what caused the riot, because people felt like they were gypped at that point. And instead of going right on stage, because Metallica had to cut their set short, made the fans wait, a couple hours or something crazy like that, and then did a shortened set, and that's when the riot occurred. That crazy riot that is just classic now.
And they've contributed nothing on the level that Metallica has anyway. I mean, Guns N' Roses was great, but fucking Metallica smashes them anyway. Like dopes.
Well, Guns N' Roses had the chance to continue, and they just imploded. So anyway, what else could you tell us about Spin Magazine and other stories you wrote?
Well, I had a gossip column for 6 years, and it's just I basically tried to make indie rock kind of juicy. You know what I mean? Which isn't easy because it's full of preppy kind of fey, maybe non-sexy, non-celebrity kind of guitar players and stuff like that. So it was
kind of
not
hard to dig up kind of sexy dirt on those
Steve
kind of
Malkmus
people.
from Pavement.
Yeah,
it's not going to be.
Would you have informants and stuff?
Yeah, I would get tipped off. Yeah. But it's he's not. No one's going to get caught with their pants down, kind of thing. Everyone's
and
kind
they
of
wouldn't
too
really
cool.
care probably either.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like it's just weird. It's a weird emotional thing because it's 8 years somewhere.
Yeah, you always hate getting the boot.
I was kind of spinning my wheels at the end. I was kind of starting to repeat stories and stuff like that, or just fall back on shtick that I.
You
knew
just open up a file and go to the back of it and go, yeah we'll bring this one up front again.
Like my B notebook. You know what I mean? But so I think they did kind of put me out of my misery a little bit, but I could have probably gone out with a bit more, dignity or something. My last story,
no one gets to go out with dignity.
Never.
By the way,
you
realize that you think you're important, and you realize you're just not important in the end. It's not a slam against you.
Yeah.
It happened to us too. You think you're this very important thing to a company, and then they just one day go, we're done with you, and they just fire you, and there's no dignity to it.
I feel honestly like they just didn't feel like paying me what they've been paying me anymore. I kind of earned over the years up to because I was publishing books, and I got kind of a bit more of a readership outside of
Mm-hmm.
Spin. So they had to pay me a bit more, and then they came in and they just had to, I guess, save millions of dollars, and I just went down the toilet with like
one of the cuts.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think of today's music?
I kind of.
And where did it change? Because I'm starting to get bored with today's music.
Well, I'm in my like mid-30s, so I don't. I mean, I feel like I've become that kind of big chill person now. Whereas like before, I was just like I made a point to be up on everything, and now I just like my girlfriend is 25, and she writes for the NME, which is this British music weekly, and she goes to everything. And after a point, I just found myself just standing there with my arms crossed, going like, "This sounds like music I listened to in high school, and I'm old, and I should stop."
You feel like the old guy.
Yeah,
No longer down in the pit.
I like this when it was Echo and the Bunnymen, in 1986.
How'd you feel about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the other night?
Were you guys there? Did you guys go to the?
Jimmy
went.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was about time that Sabbath got inducted.
Thank you.
You are now
I interviewed
Jimmy's
Ozzy.
best friend.
Thank you.
I interviewed Ozzy when he was promoting this box set last year, and it was over the phone. But like the first thing I said, because like they just inducted like Jackson Browne or something like last year or something like that. I was like, I want to tell you, Ozzy, I think it's a fucking travesty that Sabbath aren't in this. And he just went off on it. He's like, yo, it's a jam. I don't jam. They jam at the end, and it's like, and he's like, Paul Schaefer, what the fuck is that? It's not rock and roll, and stuff like that.
Do you got any pictures from that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame over there, Mr. Do Nothing?
Mr. Do Nothing. E-Rock is working hard.
I know he is, but I want my picture, so I have to be bossy.
Yeah, Jimmy got a picture with the entire band, and it's pretty much the pinnacle of his entire life.
It'd be the pinnacle of anybody's
His
life.
existence. This guy is the biggest Sabbath fan you'll ever see on the face of the earth.
But it's weird Ozzy showed up though, because
I'm sure the
genuinely
label
didn't
pushed
seem
him.
to care.
I think the rest of the band wanted to do it too. In my chats with Tone, I've kind of
yeah.
I think the rest of the band wanted.
I think he threw the rest of the band a bone and said, "All right, it's really important to you guys more than myself, and I'll show up."
Well, I'm sure Sharon wanted them to too. I mean, it's good for sales. It's the
good
greatest
point.
hits thing. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
financial reasons, they're not dumb. That's a lot of press.
None of that.
The Blondie thing was amazing yesterday.
And
I didn't realize when they were having that exchange, because we only heard the audio, that the guy was right in her face.
Yeah.
Saying, "Hey, are we allowed to play with you tonight?" And,
No.
And she's like, "No, not tonight," or whatever.
No, I got my band up here. He goes,
Right,
well,
right.
I thought Blondie was being inducted.
Yeah,
the band.
They're all suing each other or whatever, and
Yeah.
there you go. There's the picture of Jimmy with Black Sabbath.
Is that the greatest shot you've ever seen?
Ozzy looks like 10 to 15 years younger than everyone else in the band.
Yeah, he's just and he's looking at the camera. It doesn't look like he is, but he's kind of on a tilt, hanging out.
You keep convincing yourself.
I saw the eyes. I
That you
zoomed
got
in.
the perfect shot.
Dude, I zoomed in on the
I
eyes.
still think Ozzy's looking off to the side a little bit.
So the Blondie were not backstage together? Like they couldn't have worked that out like behind the scenes?
No, they
Zoom in on the eyes, Hawk. Excuse me. Zoom in on Ozzy's eyes.
How many times, though? Because I know you. How many times did you look at that picture and go, man, is he looking at the camera or not? Because if he's not looking at the camera, it's not a perfect shot.
Somewhere between 3 and 1,500. But
No, be honest.
I
You were-
am.
Okay,
a lot.
good.
But I am zooming in. I tell you one
But
thing.
now you're convinced that he was looking at the
I know he was.
camera?
I looked at the eyes. I zoomed in on the eyes.
I told you, Anthony. I
know.
Told you.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Because it's not good enough to get a picture with the entire band. Now it has to be the perfect picture. They all have to be, looking at the same camera.
A second before the picture was taken, Ozzy was laughing and looking away, and I actually went, "Okay, guys." I actually said that to the Sabbath because Ozzy was fucking goofing off
To get them all looking.
like looking. I think he was laughing at Tony Dennis or somebody on the side. I'm like, "Fuck!" And my friends got the camera. I didn't want the camera to shut off. So I'm like, all right, look at the black guy. I think I told him, look at Earl, and then he did actually
look at the black guy.
Do you geek out when you meet your heroes? 'Cause
No,
that's-
I'm usually pretty collected. I'm awful.
Oh,
yes, I do.
That's the thing at Spin is
worst.
I met like over 8 years too, like so many of my heroes, and I just tried to. You have to
Like who? Like
who was the biggest one, or who was one that you were like?
Morrissey,
fuck?
I think, was the biggest one.
Really?
Yeah. I had to like I met him at the Beverly Hills Hotel the first time, and I went into the Polo Lounge and I had 3 Bloody Marys like back, and they cost like $20 there or something, and it was just like, and it still like it was like noon, and it was like
I never
hammered.
yeah, and it was still like I was still.
What was it about Morrissey? I
What is a
I
Morrissey
never
song?
got
was
into
just
Morrissey.
I was just one of them, I was like the Smiths fan in high school, and it just never.
You were
went
that
away.
kid?
I never outgrew it.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So you were really close to killing yourself many, many times, huh?
Yeah, right?
That's the Morrissey
Yeah.
thing.
I
man.
know. I was never into Morrissey or his crowd or his fans.
But the equivalent, I remember I met the B-52s, which was like huge at the time also, and the Jesus and Mary, all the bands I listened to growing up, but I never thought I would meet. I was not supposed to meet, like Robert Smith from The Cure. I sat like in a hotel suite.
There's
like, right
another
across from
band
him.
where it's like,
Wow,
you fell right into that whole thing, didn't you?
I was a sad, confused.
I didn't mind the
person.
I didn't mind the Cure.
The Cure are great.
I didn't mind
He's
the
a great
Cure.
guitar player too. He's underrated as a guitar player.
How close were you to, like, with the black eyeliner?
I had.
Were you goth?
There are photos somewhere.
Are there? Yeah. Okay. That's all right. We all got them.
You didn't wear the thin ties growing up, though, did
I
you?
wore everything that you probably shouldn't wear. Yeah. but
I had a friend like that, man. Flock of Seagulls was doing that crazy crap with their hair, and my best friend at the time had to show up with this crazy hair. I'm like, what are you doing?
Don't do that. Not that one.
And then it was the Stray Cats, and that was the Stray Cats' hair.
Yeah.
See, Jimmy's studying the Ozzy picture to make sure he is looking at the camera.
He's kind of looking away, dude.
No, he's not actually.
So
I've seen on my own. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but on my own copy, I've seen it's clear. It's believe me, he's looking at it. I was obsessed with it. And I realized he is. Yes.
See, I knew it.
So
I knew it.
Right. No one's ever come in here who's like tripped you out, like
Ozzy.
Like
Ozzy freaked him out.
But you have to remember that your job, right? You
Early
have to keep
on, it was really like freaky. I think my first big celebrity interview, rock interview, was backstage in Worcester, the Worcester Centrum, and Eddie Van Halen came walking back, and I stuck a mic in his face and asked him a couple of questions, and I couldn't concentrate on anything except, holy shit, that's Eddie Van Halen, like 3 inches from me. You know, he was just wah 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 wah, whatever he was saying. I couldn't listen to it.
And all you're thinking is Eddie Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Eddie Van Halen.
Just looking at him, going, holy shit, there he is.
For me, it was comedians. I met Sam Kinison. That was unbelievable. I got a great shot.
Yeah, you do.
And he's looking right at the camera.
He absolutely is.
Not a kind of a way like Ozzy.
I would display it, but the sweater I'm wearing is the silliest sweater that anyone has ever worn in their life, and that's the only reason I don't throw it on a website. And then there was George Carlin and Dave Grohl, because I'm a huge Nirvana fan, and that's the closest I was going to get to Kurt Cobain.
He's very down to earth too. You forget.
Dave Grohl is like, you feel like will just go out and drink beers with you, no problem.
Would you want to meet Courtney Love?
Nah, I could care less about her.
Okay.
I met Courtney.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
She's great. I never see what anyone else sees. Like when she's around me and we're talking, she's like lucid and she knows a lot about rock and roll.
Gabbed up skank, not.
No, she's really.
Oh, wait a minute! I do have 2 Sam Kinison pictures. One is proudly displayed on our Demented World CD.
That's where it should be.
With a radio station sweatshirt on. This is a better picture than the sweater picture that I got.
The Carlin too, man. Like,
the Carlin thing was amazing.
Yeah, that was when George and I did TV together.
Oh,
yeah. No, because I had some video with him. We did the sketch and the whole thing, and then we got the pictures. You know how it is.
Yeah. Congrats.
By the end, I was just jaded. I would ask Kid Rock to buy me a drink. You know what I mean? It's like and he actually gave me a $100 bill.
Oh,
so it's good that they kind of. So maybe it's good that they fired me because it probably was heading towards like a car crash kind of thing.
And I always liked Spin Magazine more than like Rolling Stone and stuff. They seem to be more with it.
Yeah. Not anymore. Don't expect it. I don't think.
Oh, with the new.
Oh, don't buy it at all, right?
Yeah,
no.
Because they just fucked me over. So it's got to be changing.
Dude, why do magazines like Spin and Rolling Stone, like, why do they always ignore Sabbath? It's like the people are supposed to know music. Like, I mean, why do they always ignore them?
I don't know. I mean, I think Sabbath is
kind of the 21st century, Jimmy.
No, but I mean, even historically, they ignored them, and the Stones are a great band. I mean, obviously, they deserve all the attention they get. But why is it 98-2? There's not that much of a difference.
Sabbath have never been on the cover of Rolling Stone.
No, Ozzy was not on the cover of Rolling Stone until the Osbournes was on TV. And like you said, guys like Jackson Browne and that type of shit.
The problem was that Black Sabbath was ahead of their time. Okay. Simple as that. I mean, Metallica went through that for a while. They were ahead of their time until that Black album hit.
Like the kids knew who they were, but like the media maybe didn't.
But but mainstream is like they were just ahead of their time. If Black Sabbath came out at the same time as Metallica, it would have been a different story. They would have been all over the place, just like Metallica was.
Once they hit, it's like, they sold out.
Right.
The original fans hate them.
Getting back into today's music, so I mean, what is your opinion about it? To me, it seems like it's all watered down, and there's no real There's no one that is like in the lead. I don't know how to explain this, but there's no one that's just like a Nirvana, or a Guns N' Roses when we were growing up, or what have you. It just seems like it's really thinned out. There are so many more bands that people are into.
I think if you count the amount of bands there were in 1991 when Nevermind came out, and the amount of bands now, it's probably something like 100 times more. Like there's just like with the internet and with sites and MP3s and iTunes and everything, it's just. I don't think there will be another U2 or Nirvana, and I think that Coldplay probably wanted that, but maybe didn't get there as naturally. I think it's over that period.
So you think
that I'm talking like the old person that I am.
Until we build colonies on Mars.
No, you know what? But you do make a good
future
point.
of rock and roll is
right.
You do make a good point. When we were growing up, we didn't have the iPods and the internet, so you got into the bands you basically heard on the radio. So they told us what we liked.
Yeah, there won't be a great album. Like
right.
Variety
it was so hard to go out.
Never another Benny Goodman. Let me tell you, kids.
But it was so hard to go out and find these more obscure bands. It was just, but now you can with the internet and the iPod.
Did you ever think that maybe the Rolling Stones and U2 are what they are because they come about one every 10, 12, 15 years sometimes?
Yeah. But where's the equivalent now? I mean, is it
maybe
that
we're kind of in between,
Diddy.
And that shitty.
Actually, I was listening to Top Tracks.
Yeah.
This weekend, and they played Stairway to Heaven, and I haven't heard it in a long time.
You actually stayed and listened?
Yeah, I don't listen to commercial radio anymore, where they will shove that song down your throat a million times. But I haven't heard it in a while, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check this. I want to check out Stairway again. It's been a while, and I listened to it, and then I was thinking to myself, if this song came out today, would it be as huge as it is?
Huh. I think so.
Would it get the exposure that it did back in the day?
Yeah, I mean,
would everyone come together and go, "Holy crap, this is one of the greatest songs ever recorded"?
Different time, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. I mean, with the iPod generation and all that.
Well, that's why so many things have to come together. It can't just be a great band. There has to be a whole timing issue with where are we now as even like a society.
Yeah.
Like when Nirvana hit. If Nirvana came out at the peak of the hairband thing, they'd been overlooked because people were so into the hairband thing. They would have been like, who the fuck are these guys? Go back to your garage or something. It was people were sick of that whole thing.
Right.
There was another generation kind of growing into their own and their own music, and Nirvana kind of was their voice, and that's when it worked. There have probably been bands that maybe 5 years, give or take, would have been huge, but they fell off timing-wise.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as I was listening to Stairway to Heaven.
It also depends on how edgy you are, or like what you mean to people. Like, would it be considered original? Like, there was a time when Tutti Frutti was like an edgy rock song.
Right.
But like, is there a song that came out in the last couple of years that should be as big as Stairway to Heaven? But because
biggest Stairway, huh?
Don't forget they got 30 years of Stairway too, though.
That's what I mean too. And that's why I don't think you're going to have songs as huge as Stairway to Heaven or name your favorite rock song from that era, because you're not going to get the airplay over and over and over again on regular radio anymore.
Classic rock.
You're just not going. It's just not going to happen anymore.
Yeah,
so you're not going to have that over the top exposure with the music.
And again, you have a lot of options out there these days.
The kids are too well versed with the kind of behind the music history of rock and roll now, so that like I think Nirvana was the last band who could like legitimately go through it like from beginning, middle to end, whereas like now there's like I was out with the Strokes when they were kind of supposedly like the next big thing, like saviors of rock and roll, and they were so aware of the fact that they were supposed to be saving rock and roll. Whereas I think Nirvana were just like, we're Nirvana, we're going to go out and...
Exactly. And
there's
that's
like a self-consciousness now. That's
I do like the Strokes, but I don't like that about them, where they're like, okay, everyone's taking a look at us, and just do your thing.
Yeah.
Just do your thing.
Self-consciousness, or was it an arrogance?
No, they're nice guys, man. I mean, they're...
We talk about this a lot. We went to
they're shy. Yeah,
we went to Ozfest in Philly and broadcasted live, but this is about 4 years ago now, maybe. I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. And I was so bummed out being backstage, and I've been lucky enough over my radio career to be backstage a lot. And when we went to Ozfest that summer, that's when I realized, oh my God, this whole music thing is so freaking different than when it was, let's say, 10 years prior. These guys were walking around all tattooed up and had to look like they were tough and they were like heroin addicts and this and that. but they're having veggie meals and drinking spring water.
Latte.
It's like L.A. exploded.
Right, and they're all online, like asking how many carbs is in this, and do you have a vegetarian meal, and do you have something with less fat, and then we were lucky enough to now be in the stands checking out these same bands we saw backstage, and they're on stage with that attitude, rocking. I'm like, dude, you were eating a fucking salad and drinking water backstage.
That's like why Axl is so disappointing now, because I think he was legitimately like that rocker guy, who would throw the Jack Daniels back, and now he's like, we've slowly watched him become, and like rock has maybe changed with him. Like he's a perfect like.
But now, I guess the point I'm making now that nowadays they're just playing the part.
Yeah.
It's not about what they are personally. They're playing what they think is the rock and roll star.
And we did get Phil from Pantera that day, and he kind of brought it back to reality. That was a
thank
good
you.
one.
You're 100% right. Yeah, then
Wow.
he came by and he was on something. Oof. They swear he wasn't on the H, but
he was on everything.
He was on. The guy, he couldn't even walk by himself. They had two guys bring him to the interview area, and then I was like, okay, it's still out there a bit. You got to look a little harder.
Best line ever. Death is overrated.
Yeah, he told us death was overrated.
It's still the stamp of authenticity. Heroin addiction.
Yeah, that kind of gives you that credibility.
But I was bummed out that day, and I lost a little bit of the whole getting excited to be backstage and rock music in general. I'm like, these guys are just playing the part.
They're more aware. They're more into being considered socially brilliant and point instead of just getting pussy and being fucking animals like rock guys have always been. Like rock guys always seem to be like poignant accidentally. Like, and maybe they were aware of it, but they were such good actors they didn't show it. But it just seems like the social relevance of a lot of music, people didn't realize how socially relevant they were until everybody told them. And now they're trying so hard to be socially relevant and to mean something, man. And
it's cyclical too, I think that happens like every few years. You get that whole thing where the bands come out and they're poignant and have to have meaning, and then there's just, a few years pass, people get sick of that and they want their drug addicts back. And then it goes back again.
But when in the 70s, or the 80s, fucking Lemmy. Huh? Why is Lemmy not on the cover of Rolling Stone?
That man is a drunk.
He's the fucking greatest. He's just an
awesome.
Animal. Three guys. He's an animal. Little tights.
He wasn't that great.
Lemmy? Oh, dude, he fucking rules.
He wears white cowboy boots on the outside of his jeans.
He's the greatest thing ever. You ever hear fucking 1916? I rest my case.
Let's go to Chris in Pennsylvania. Chris.
Hey, Ope.
Hey.
Hey, guys. Hey, you guys are completely missing the point, especially you, Opie. All the great bands were obscure and made themselves great. Now corporations just put these bands together. They're just shit.
Corporations? I'm not sure what you mean, though, dude.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like these big, great, like P. Diddy puts together bands, and all these other companies, they put together bands, and they're big, they're huge off the bat. Nobody comes out of obscurity anymore.
I think Chris is making a pretty good point. You do get a band that has this raw talent, and then they get a hold of you, and then they mold you instead of you figuring it out on your own. Right?
How come G.G. Allen was never on the cover of Spin Magazine?
Because G.G. Allen, to be honest with you, as much as he was an interesting guy and an interesting dude to listen to, he musically was not good.
No, absolutely not. But he was rock and roll.
He was more. No, he wasn't. He was just a degenerate. Rock and roll is different. Rock and roll doesn't mean anarchy and throwing shit at the audience. I mean, rock and roll is crazy and it's drugs and it's chicks, but it's not a lack of respect for your audience in a fucking warehouse somewhere, throwing duty at them with your cock sticking out and fucking falling asleep.
Plus, he never did. He never killed himself on
guy,
stage.
And
like
even
he promised.
did so watered down now, it's ridiculous.
All right, Chris, thank you.
Hey, most ridiculous situation you've gotten into with your name?
Oh yeah, like the if you were born at a certain, if you're like 30 or late 20s, but like there's so many people now who don't even ask me that.
We were hoping to see gold medals today,
but I heard what do you guys think about having Mark Spitz on? And I go, well, of course. Why wouldn't we? Thinking at first, sorry, but thinking the first name you hear when you hear Mark Spitz.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of Office Space with Michael Bolton.
Right. But the thing is, I should have changed. I had an excuse to change it because I put out books and stuff like that. But like I couldn't think of anything. Like I couldn't think of anything.
Really?
Like anything.
Brian
better.
Boitano. No.
Brian A. Boitano.
Right. Put an A in there.
Let's go to Mark in Jersey. Mark, what's up?
Hey boys. There's no greater example of somebody who's one thing on stage and you think he's all rocked out, and another off of it than Travis Barker from Blink-182. Tattoos, mohawk, everything's pierced. And then you see him on his MTV show, and he's the biggest fucking pussy in the world.
Yeah, he's living in a mansion with in a neighborhood with soccer moms.
You can't fault people for that. Why would you have a problem with something like that? That sounds like a wonderful way of life.
Sure does.
I don't think Keith Richards ever spoke like that, boys.
Like Keith doesn't have a mansion
Yeah,
somewhere.
I bet Keith's house is pretty nice. Actually.
Yeah, I bet it really is. Nice decor.
I bet he can pick it up and take it on the road with the Stones, too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a good one there, Mark.
That's funny.
Meet the Barkers. It's like, this guy doesn't look like a rock star at all.
You don't feel like they're genuine, like a guy like Tommy Lee. One minute he's the fucking rebel, the next minute he's fucking talking like he's in hip hop. It's just like this embarrassing attempt at being relevant
Fit
and
in and be
popular.
relevant, yeah.
And you look at other bands. I mean, you could, of course, I would raise Sabbath, but just for the sake of the audience, I'll say Robert Plant. And those guys, they were just consistent. That's who the guy was, and that's what made him loved and interesting. Now they're just trying so hard to be popular.
Let's go to Mark in Rockland County. Mark?
Hey, this is Murph in Rockland County.
Sorry, Murph. No disrespect.
Hey, God bless Black Sabbath in the first place.
Good
okay?
point, Murph. Good point.
Okay, I just want to ask this guy about bands like the Drive-By Truckers and the Bottle Rockets, like Americana. It's like modern CCR.
Oh, my God. We interviewed the Bottle Rockets.
Yeah, they're a great.
Wow. What was their hit song? I think they played it live for us.
Radar Gun.
Yeah.
Radar
Remember
Gun.
that, Anthony?
Of course.
These guys were good old boys, man. Hillbillies, basically.
Yeah. Well, there's a band, the Drive-By Truckers. I know Spin and Rolling Stone always says they're America's greatest live band.
Can I?
And they really are. You got to go see them when they come around.
This is the second time I've heard about Drive-By Truckers. The first time was in Stephen King's column that he does for Entertainment Weekly. He does.
No kidding.
Stephen King does. We've been trying to get him on the show. He does a pop culture column in Entertainment Weekly that is just unbelievable. And he was talking about the Drive-By Truckers, I believe.
Yeah, they're great. They play a 3-hour set. They're a bunch of alcoholics. Before they go on, they're drinking Jack. They drink Jack on stage. They're like in their late 30s, 40 years old. They're the real thing.
And they're what kind of music? Is it like Southern rock
it's like,
or country?
It's modern day Southern rock.
Do you know?
These guys are like it's like CCR if they were like complete alcoholics today.
Do you know one of their hit songs?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Don't go obscure on us here, because
I know. I'm trying to. I'm on the. Just break out anything from the Dirty South. There's a Daddy's Cup, Father's Cup, or something like that. But they got 3 guitarists, each one of them singing songwrite. So each record is complete, like goes every which direction.
Right.
I'm telling you, they're the real shit.
Well, we want to play a little bit of Drive-By Truckers, but we need like a song, more of a popular
the
song.
Record is the Dirty South. You can just bounce around there.
Oh, Mister.
What is it? Never Going Back. That was their hit off the Dirty South.
Never Going Back.
Yeah, something like that. It's something along the lines of that.
All right, we'll take a look. We'll try to find it.
Yeah, take a look. I'm telling you, they're a great band.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, Lappin, you suck.
All right.
Told him.
Who sucks?
No idea.
I don't know.
Must be a friend.
It's good jukebox music, Drive-By Truckers.
I never heard them.
Let's get a taste of Drive-By Truckers. Never Gonna Change. No? There you go.
Shotgun shells and feeling for traffic on the lane. 'Cause the ATF and the ABI got everything they could take. Take it from me. They didn't take it from me. Take it from me. We ain't never gonna change. We ain't doing nothing wrong. We ain't never gonna change. So shut your mouth and play along.
Jimmy loves it.
I like that.
No, you don't.
This I really do. The guy's got a great voice.
It's really.
I was enjoying that very much. He had a really good
like
voice.
that. I'm gonna go check out some more drive-by truckers.
Me too. Derek, do that illegal downloading you normally do for me.
Did you see Skinner at the Hall of Fame?
I was busy backstage. I did see them. I was in the press room, so I was getting my photo at Sabbath, chit-chatting with, Tone and Geezer. That was, I was backstage while they were playing Free, but I didn't care what they were doing. But the fact that it took Leonard Skinner this long to be inducted just shows you how out of touch and irrelevant a lot of that thinking really is. Jackson
Brown.
Brown.
The band was disrailed for
for
quite a few years.
What's
there.
that?
They were disrailed.
Yeah, they had an issue.
Oh.
They're a little bit of an issue. I don't think they really. I don't think they really cared about being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nah.
Iggy is still not
for a
in the Hall of
while.
Fame.
What was the big song by Jackson Brown? Maybe I'm missing it. What was Jackson Brown?
Loadout Stay.
He had the song in Fast Times.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
somebody's baby.
How does that go? Can we just have a moment of Jackson Brown?
Got to be somebody's
Yeah,
baby.
put on the Jackson Brown Fast Time song.
This is when
where Jennifer Jason Leigh's getting fucked in the dugout.
She climbs out the
by
window
the stereo
and
cells.
loses her virginity. Yeah.
What year did he get into the Rock? 25 years you have to exist, right?
Hey, this is great iced tea.
This is.
Love that guy.
This was a huge hit for Jackson Brown.
I'm sure it was a massive hit.
On your home of rock and roll.
Yeah. Hey, this is the scene when I'm in a pool cabana and I come too quick. I just picture her getting fucked anytime you hear this song.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jason Leigh is getting it somewhere.
I wonder if her husband has to play this when he fucks
Yeah,
her.
when he's banging her, they just pop it on.
You know, as a goof, he's done that for her.
Remember?
Jesus, is this fucking unlistenable?
Hey, Red, would you get that out of the hamper? One of the best characters in any movie ever, Damone.
And then there was Running on Empty. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
From The Office.
Well, come on, Lawyers in Love.
Lawyers in Love.
Now that's one of my faves.
That was the one that put him over. He wouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame.
Wouldn't they even come close?
How many years? 25 years in existence to be in the Hall.
Yeah.
So what year did he go in? Did anybody know? A few years ago?
I think it was like
within a couple of years.
Probably closer to the first year or second year of eligibility, right? Because Jackson Brown's been around for 30 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He did Loadout Stay,
been around
one of the biggest rock songs
since
ever.
the late 70s.
What's Loadout Stay?
Why don't you stay just a little bit longer?
Remember that
Anybody?
one?
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, sure, that's up there.
He got in early, though. You're
How
right.
about...
Sure, he should have. He's terrific.
What about what's his name that was inducted? The jazz
Miles Davis.
Miles Davis. I'm sorry. Does it belong to the Rock and Roll?
Love Miles
Stop.
Davis.
Not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Defeats the whole Rock
Miles
and Roll
Davis.
thing.
And do you ever just sit around and just like have background music on?
No.
Or do you need the music to be front and center and you have to rock along
I
with
need it to be
What you're reading the
something I know.
You're reading the Sunday New York Times.
What planet is this?
And you got a cup of coffee and you throw
No.
a Miles Davis CD in.
Nope.
Why not?
Look, I'm not saying you can't appreciate Miles Davis.
Are
I'm
you
just
checking
saying
out
it's
Chill?
not rock and roll.
Channel 84 on XM?
No.
XM 84?
I have
look
not
for
even
more
come
great
close to it.
background music.
I won't go to the channels around it because I don't like it.
Do you
so
ever
much.
listen to
I don't even know what's on it.
You listen to
Anything with an
classical
H.
music?
Right. Classical?
Ever.
Sometimes I
Like it's like Sunday morning type music.
No, you know what I find classical music is it's depressing. It's soundtrack to depression.
No.
There's nothing uplifting about it. You walk into a house where classical music is playing, you expect to see a casket sitting somewhere where you're supposed to like kneel down and give your respects. It's not music where I want music to lift me up. That's why I'll play ABBA.
Who are not in the Hall of Fame.
I will play ABBA.
There's a song. I got some good Overture to the Sun. Fantastic
What?
classical song. Of course, no one
Oh,
knows
my
that.
God, I know this one,
Who
Jimmy.
doesn't?
Oh, and everyone knows like the songs, but they try to be cool by knowing the song's real classical name instead of the theme to
No, that
the
was actually-
Lone Ranger.
that was-
no. Don't you know that is the Polvetzian Dance No. 3 by Borodin? Remember that old codger on that commercial from years and years ago?
No, it scares me. That might be the real answer.
It is the
I don't
real
even want to
answer.
ask him.
Yeah,
It is the real answer.
And there's other ones like
Is that really the answer?
it might be. I'm not sure what that song. I remember because there was an album out years ago when I was growing up, and it was classical songs. And he would say, "You might remember this as the theme to the Lone Ranger. Did you realize it was actually called?" And then all of these and more can be yours if you order now.
Jimmy, Overture, we need a little more info.
Overture to the Sun is from Clockwork Orange.
Oh, okay.
It's a great. It's not the Clockwork theme. It's not a Beethoven song.
Yeah, but we can't find
It's a good
Ludwig
one.
van.
Lovely, lovely
Is
Ludwig
it-
van.
Ludwig van.
Yeah, is it by Mozart
Do
or
not-
Wagner?
I would guess Mozart.
Wagner.
Yeah.
Wagner. Mr. Classical.
No, it's Wagner.
Robert Wagner.
I will not.
It's song by Robert Wagner. It's called Get the Scuba Gear.
It was done by.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, that is nasty,
Wow.
Jimmy.
All right. Well, we need the real name of the
Do
damn
we have,
song.
do we have anything from Clockwork Orange in there, Hawk?
Let's
Better
see.
look harder, or this bottle's coming over.
I got to hang up on a bunch of people because we got to find the answer. This?
No, that's the William Tell. That's the William Tell
I
Overture.
know.
William Tell Overture.
Not that one.
No. Let's see.
It's a great scene, though.
All right, we'll go to Ray in the meantime from New Mexico. Ray, what's up?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, man, you guys, listen, man, I love Black Sabbath. I love Led Zeppelin. I'm like 43 years old. But there's a lot of great bands right now. System of a Down, Korn, Godsmack, Tool. There's some great bands.
All right, listen, you're naming bands that started over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm talking about bands that are coming out now. What's hitting you now?
In the last 2 years.
I loved all those bands, too, and continue to love them. What?
10 years.
Huh?
System of a Down has not been out
System
for
of the
10
Down
years.
is up there. You'd be surprised. They've been around a while now. Maybe
I don't
not
know,
10, but they're
years.
they're probably up to 7 years now.
I saw them on the second
But-
stage of Ozfest.
Oh, Jesus.
But if a band don't freaking
99 or
party, oh, man, I'm fucking fading, man. I'll talk to you.
Wow,
you
punch
do.
out.
The call was going good.
Oh, my God. Punch out. You're going in, Maverick.
And that guy's missing our
In a
point.
flat spin.
I don't care if my bands don't party, but don't make believe you do.
Yeah,
Just
who you are.
I don't like that.
Be who you are.
The honesty in the music is
Be
not
who
there.
you are. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Oh, yeah, my point about Miles Davis is he didn't belong in the Rock and Roll
I
Hall
don't
of
know,
Fame.
man.
Put him in the Jazz Hall
You're
of
gonna-
Fame.
You're going to lose that argument.
Why?
People are going to come
That's
out
not
of the
rock and
woodwork.
roll. No one into rock and roll is listening to Miles Davis. It's not rock and roll.
It's music.
It's jazz.
It's music.
I think
It's okay. Then who else should be in the Rock and
I know
Roll
what
Hall
you're
of
saying.
Fame?
I know what you.
That's
I
good.
do know what you
What
mean.
about the trombone player? Put him in there. Hey, Kenny G. When is Kenny G going to be fucking put in?
In another 15
You
years.
think so?
Did
Of
Miles
course.
Davis have any fusion stuff with rock and roll?
Yeah, I think he invented it. Is why he's in there. He invented like shitty rock fusion.
Actually, I invented it.
Bitches Brew, that's a rock.
What is
Bitches
that?
Brew. Thank you, Ben.
What is Bitches Brew?
Bitches Brew is like kind of a rock album.
And what's the what
Kind of a rock
what's that
album.
Miles
Give me
Davis?
something off Bitches Brew. Bitches.
What was Miles Davis's masterpiece? Something Blue.
Kind of blue.
Kind of Blue.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that album.
Well, what the hell is it? Rock and roll?
It's jazz.
no,
I'm
that
not-
one
I
is-
don't
that
like
one
it. I
is-
think jazz is awful.
Rock and roll
It's
is an
the-
attitude, man.
It's the best-selling jazz album ever.
Yeah, listen
Yeah.
listen to
Kinda
Kind of Blue. His instrument talks, man.
Shut up! It does not.
Yeah.
It tells
Says,
a
"Where's my
story."
needle? I weigh 12
Oh.
pounds."
It tells a story, man.
I don't buy it.
It's not that bad.
Fucking unlistenable direct jazzes. Exactly.
Oh, it's horrible.
Go listen to Kind of Blue and then come
like
in
they're
and
all
talk
tuning
about
up.
it.
They're all great musicians. Jazz musicians are great musicians. But it's like, could you cocksuckers rehearse once?
Each one thinks they're better than the other guy with them in the band, so they all got to outdo each other, and it
Yeah.
winds up just sounding like this mishmash. I know I don't sound very cultured when I talk like this.
I don't either. It stinks, jazz.
I
You heard it here. Jazz stinks.
We got any Miles?
I'm not going to say I'm a jazz fan. I'm a Miles Davis fan, though.
Give me some rockin' Miles. Give me some Miles Davis that rocks.
All right, well, let's go to Kind of Blue. Well, Bitches Brew is a nice one. Go to
There
we don't
Jazz
have any Miles
Channel?
Davis in the old
Gotta be.
computer.
Eric,
Gotta
I would
be.
find that before you get shaven with the back of my hand.
Where's all right? Here's Bitches Brew.
Yeah, play Bitches Brew.
Bitches Brew.
It's 27 minutes long, by the way.
Holy shit! Is it?
Hey man, we wanted
really
to call
that
it in
long?
today anyway. So
Is it really? And you'll hear
Sit
it
back
here
and
in
enjoy
its entirety.
Right. Ah yes.
Pee you already.
It gets going.
This is a
It does-
tuning session. He's tuning.
We're like halfway through it.
Halfway through.
Halfway through it.
It will
Yeah,
sound. It will
man.
sound exactly like this.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Halfway through.
Right there.
Ah yes.
That's like the Muppets.
Anthony's trying to jump out the window.
I tried to jump out the window. Let it be known. This is so god awful, I can't even tell
Who
you.
fucking enjoys this?
You know what? I can't fake it. I don't like this either.
It stinks. How can you like it?
Go to
Mark,
like,
what do you think?
I think it's one of those records you're supposed to like. You know, it's
no,
like, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, like you put it in your
it's a
little
ro-
thing so
it's a
you're
rock
cool.
snob record. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So people read and go, wow, is that? Yeah, man, I like it too. No, I'm stupid and I hate it.
Yeah, I have records like that on my iPod that I never ever listen to.
Oh, by the way, we got to move along here
Never.
because we got Jimmy Johnson calling in.
Oh,
He
shit.
won another NASCAR race, and we got to get to him in about 15 minutes. But first, Larry in D.C. Larry.
Larry!
Hey,
Gonna
Jimmy,
find your
what you're
dog dead in the hallway, Larry.
What you're looking for, Jimmy, is Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, the choral finale, also called Ode to Joy, because a poem by a guy named Schiller over in Germany was put to that music.
I love
The,
Ode to Joy, but that's not the one I mean. The one I mean is Overture to the Sun. It's a different one.
I like this.
This is great.
I can sing you one bar of the Ode to Joy, and it's the most famous thing from Clockwork Orange.
This is fucking
It's
great.
"O du schöner Gott."
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah, that one.
It's great.
I play that in my house every day. It's wonderful.
This is one of the best shot scenes ever. This
Okay. Punching out.
This is not depressing.
No, this isn't depressing
Fucking
classical
great.
music. This is good classical.
This is great, dude.
It's
I like this
it's
stuff.
calming. It's very
Yeah, I like calming
This
music.
in this scene right now, Alex is jerking off, and they show his face, and the camera is fucking panning. He has a little thing, a statue. It's four Christs together.
Uh-huh.
And Kubrick was director photographer, was a genius. That, like, to the beat, he's panning on different parts of the Christ, like their hands, their heads, their feet. It's fucking amazing. If anybody remembers
Yeah.
that scene, to the beat of the music, it's just great. Which has nothing to do with the song.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah, all right.
But, you know, it's very limited with me. I could listen to a little bit of that.
Overture to the Sun you'd like if I could find it. I just want to wear this as a hat so bad you have no idea. This bag. I've been fighting the urge to put that on and just make it a hat.
It would be the funniest thing
I didn't want to break the room up.
All right, listen, let's. Well, Mark, you got a book out. We got to talk about the book for a
yeah,
couple
too
minutes.
much too late.
And what's the book about?
It's a story of a band called the Jane Ashers, and they kind of were together in the 90s around like the grunge era, and then they broke up and kind of lived normal lives, and then they get discovered by a blogger.
That's racist.
And get really, and they get really huge and famous in their 40s, and how they cope. It's about growing up within rock and roll, and how I've been on tour with bands who handled it well, and I've been on tour with bands who kind of fell apart. And so I figured it was a good theme to kind of examine. And it's a comedy. It's really funny, and it's kind of raunchy in places, but also kind of sweet. It's my first like adult book, I guess.
You've cast it in your head already, have you?
Oh yeah,
The movie?
No, people ask
No.
me, and my last book, How Soon Is Never, is being produced now, and I still don't see I don't see actors like.
You don't do that as you're writing it? And go,
Denzel
hey,
Washington.
I think
as,
this guy would play No?
No, but it is. I've been told I write like good dialogue, and it would be translate well to film. But
I can play any part you want. I'm fucking good.
Jimmy's a good actor.
Well, you can read from it. If you
Right here.
Hey, who told you this was a good picture of you on the back cover?
Oh, it's.
Jesus. Wow.
He'll admit it.
I know. Look
You
at the
look
guy
miserable.
that was file trading with Gary Glitter.
Right. When you pull back, you'll see. You'll see the bar. You know,
But it looks like you're still listening to Morrissey, quite frankly.
No,
It looks
I
like
don't
it's
know.
a picture from a webcam or something.
Oh, you're acting?
That was reading.
Oh,
wait,
let Jimmy act out a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you need to get over there. I'll go with you.
Bravo!
Bravissimo!
Wow, you are good.
It's not a depressing book, even though I look morose in the photo.
The line here is, you don't want me to meet your mom. And then I say, no, I do. I just, and then it's like, don't want to meet my mom or see my mom.
Okay.
So you have to say, you don't want me to meet your mom?
You don't want me to meet your mom?
No, I do. I don't want to meet my mom or see my mom.
It's not about moms either, the book.
Rachel, any part you need, my friend.
back.
I work for Scale. I'm
All
good.
right.
Just face it, I'm good.
Well, very good. It's
The book
Mark
is called
Spitz.
Too Much, Too Late.
Yes, in stores now.
And you can get it now. It's great, man. Can
Mark
you sign my copy,
Spitz.
mister?
I will, yeah.
Can you sign the front,
easy
though?
to
They always
remember
sign
the
the
name.
inside. Now, you can't display the inside. I like to have. I want the cover signed so I can put it up somewhere.
Yes.
And people go, he knows that guy. Thank you, mister.
All right, it's Mark Spitz, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll have.
How heavy are those gold medals?
They're a burden. They're a burden.
When we get back, we should be talking to Jimmy Johnson. Stay there. All right, you're checking out the Opie and Anthony program on XM Satellite Radio. The O&A virus spreading across America on this fine Whip 'em Out Wednesday. If you're looking for the WOW stickers, go to opieandanthony.com, and there should be instructions for you.
Right.
Basically, we're looking for you to send in a self-addressed stamped envelope, all right?
It's easy.
Jimmy Johnson calling in a few minutes
That was a nice little musical discussion.
with Mark Spitz.
I like that.
That was pretty cool.
By the
We
way,
covered
guys,
a lot of area. There he is.
it's a hat.
Jimmy. Now I'm going to be laughing all day when I think of that.
I don't
Put
wanna
a bag
break-
on his head.
I don't wanna
Wore it
break
like
the
a
room
hat.
up. Like a hat.
Here's the poll up on our gifts yet. Oh, does anyone know?
Damn, let me look here.
Let me
I
let me see
had
what's
that.
going on here.
Forgot for a second. Maybe,
Let's see. I don't have the website up here.
no?
I don't know.
Is it in your favorites?
I don't know.
It's in my favorites.
All right, see if the poll is up there. Also, we got a little press in the Daily News again today.
Yes.
Yep.
We got a couple little hits in the Daily News. This is called stalling because Jimmy Johnson's calling any minute, and we can't get into anything too involved right now.
I know what I'd like to get into after Mr. Johnson calls, though.
What?
I'd love to get into train kills Miss Deaf Texas.
Oh shit, that's right. That happened today.
Tragic.
It happened like a couple days ago, I think. Do we have
Tragic.
audio of it?
The actual story,
What,
news story, or the
Something
actual
of
death?
Yeah, audio of the deaf.
Knowing
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Of the deaf, I mean.
David Hinckley in the Daily News. Just something quick about us today. Michael Harrison, editor of Talkers Magazine, told Opie and Anthony last week it was an oversight not to put O&A among the top 100 talk show hosts. Talkers' annual list had O&A in its second tier.
Yes.
And David Hinckley not really helping us out because Michael Harrison actually went on to say that we would have been 6 or 7.
Number 6 or 7's a far cry from just the top 100.
And by the way, we have blown off going on the front cover of Talkers
Yes.
Magazine for the faithful listeners
Have
that
you?
we're following that
Screw
storyline.
'em.
Yes. Yes, we blew that off.
What I say.
We're not going to be on the cover doing something wacky.
I wanted you to do something not wacky, though.
Like what? We don't know what that is.
I don't know. We should all put our little heads together. I think you can come up with something that's not wacky.
And then we made Lowdown in the same paper, the New York Daily News. It's the gossip page in the paper.
What's the lowdown?
In Snark Attack.
What is that?
What's snark mean? Could you get the Isaac Hayes thing? Because we got to play that again real fast.
Oh, that looks good.
What?
It's going to make the room smell all cinnamony.
You
I
want
like
one?
cinnamon.
Raisiny
You want one,
toasted.
Jimmy?
Nah,
No.
you eat it. You're hungry. Who cares about me?
I'll give you a piece of raisin toast for that fine glove.
I like raisin toast.
Oh, no.
Smell it, Jimmy.
No,
I smell it from here.
What do you say? It's an even
Smells-
trade. It's an
smells
even trade.
raisiny.
It's an even trade, no?
It is delicious.
But do we know what snark means? Snark attack?
No.
It's kind of like shark, but with an N.
Oh, okay. That explains it then. Thanks, Jimmy.
No, but it's like
Black shark.
it's snark attack with a big exclamation point. And then, and they make the same point you made yesterday, Anthony.
Of course they did. What point was that?
Did someone get to Isaac Hayes?
Uh-huh.
This is exactly what you said yesterday. Scientologist Hayes was the voice of Chef on South Park, but just quit the Comedy Central hit, citing intolerance and bigotry toward religious beliefs. Only last December, Hayes went on Opie and Anthony's XM radio show and didn't mind a recent episode ridiculing Tom Cruise and Scientology.
Yep.
One thing about Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the South Park creators, they lampoon everybody, and if you take that shit serious, then I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge for $2. I ain't buying.
Yep. That was him on this show.
Well, here's the actual audio.
Hey, my question is for Isaac Hayes.
Yo.
Hey,
Yo.
what did you think? You're a Scientologist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think about when Matt and Trey did that episode on South Park about Scientology?
Well,
with Cruz in the closet.
Well,
yeah, that was a great episode.
One
they
thing
ran
about
it, I think last week too.
Yeah, one thing about Matt and Trey, they lampoon everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take that shit serious, then I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge for $2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to realize what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Oops.
Oh, and now he's saying he quits because of what they did. Their
Religious
intolerance
right.
for religion. Well, your religion, because they have been doing religious parodies and goofs for years on that show, for the entire time he was chef. And Scientology, though, and Scientologists don't like criticism. They've always been rabid, the Scientologists, about defending their faith. And they go after people with huge teams of lawyers if you criticize them. But I think nowadays, a few years back, if you wrote an article about Scientology, you'd have their lawyers on your ass. And even if you were right, it would cost you a lot of money to defend yourself. Nowadays, though, with the wonderfulness of the Internet and everything and blogs, and you can criticize all you want. A lot of people do. And they just don't have the resources to cover everything.
You think they got Isaac Hayes, though?
So now what they're doing is pretty much staying internal and keeping their own people straight. So somebody absolutely got to him and said, "What the fuck, are you stupid? What, are you crazy? You don't go on a show and talk about..." We're out there talking about how that was awful for them to play that on South Park. And a character on South Park is a Scientologist, and he's saying, "Oh, it's no big deal. Now you quit."
You know who asked for the audio?
Who?
Keith Olbermann.
Really?
Asked for the audio. They might do something with it on
Wow.
MSNBC. Keith Olbermann is still having a very good time doing his show.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, Bill's miserable.
Bill O'Reilly is miserable.
Dude, that audio of Bill O'Reilly threatening a caller with some type of legal action for mentioning another person. It is so desperate, like he's talking to 3-year-olds.
He's out of touch.
As a daddy. Now you don't do that. Just chastising his listeners like they're children. And Keith's response to it is hysterical.
Do we have that audio still?
I hope so. I see a madman pawing through CDs right now.
I know. No, that's all right.
Oh, my God. He's going crazy. There it is.
Thanks, E-Rock.
Yeah, this is what this douchebag O'Reilly is all about.
And he really is.
Another guy that just doesn't know how to have fun anymore.
Doesn't know how to have fun, and he's out of his mind. How do you think you can threaten people to this degree for calling into a radio show, regardless of what you're saying? You can say whatever you want. You could say, you could curse. You're not going to get in trouble. You can criticize the host. You can mention other people's names, other radio hosts' names. Doesn't matter. There's no legal recourse unless you do something like make a threat against someone's life, against the president.
Or sing a copywritten song.
Oh, that'll get you in big trouble, Jimmy.
Well, we got to put this on hold.
So
we got a big star on the phone. Jimmy Johnson.
Yes.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much.
Another victory for Jimmy Johnson.
It's been a good start to the season.
A good start. You're the points leader, my friend.
Yes.
And you're blowing off races here and there at times. Didn't you blow off one race?
No, we're gonna stick in there. Keep trucking. Lots of trophies. That's the goal. And big goal is that big trophy at the end of the year that NASCAR passes out to the champions. So hopefully we can do that.
What was I reading though? You blew off a race for something. Was that last season then?
No.
Forget it.
We can joke about something like that.
No,
but
it's okay.
It's never happened. I mean, we can say that, I had a big night the night before and just didn't feel like doing my job, but not the case.
So what is it? What's giving you this success?
It's, I know you guys hear it all the time, and
Hold
it probably
on
gets
a minute,
corny.
Jimmy Johnson.
What?
I don't want him to be made the fool today.
Why is that?
While he took a week off of racing, NASCAR went to Mexico last week. You didn't go to Mexico?
No, that's for the Busch Series.
Oh, okay.
Told
That's
you.
where I was confused. Okay.
I told him that earlier.
He and Jeff Gordon went snowboarding.
You thought you had me, didn't you?
Yeah, I told him. I'm like, that was the Busch Series. He's like, no, it wasn't.
But there's a reason I bring this up. Why would I bring that up? It's boring. Yeah, you missed a race. Who cares? But I like this little story, though, that was attached to it. All right, so instead of doing that, you and Jeff Gordon went snowboarding, okay?
There was a whole group of us. We had a blast up there in Aspen snowboarding.
Very cool.
You were in Aspen?
Yes.
Oh.
So you're a California guy, and you're hooked with the celebs. So we hear?
Yeah, know a couple guys.
All right, here's the story.
Because he's a celebrity.
The paparazzi got a shot of Jimmy's wife getting out of a limo with Nick Lachey. See, he's laughing.
You want to know what the limo was?
What was the limo?
The car that I was driving, and if you look in the photo, you can see where they totally cropped me out. My arms there, like holding my wife's shoulder.
Really?
And they totally cropped me out. And, have a picture with Nick standing next to my wife and try to make something out of it.
Thank you. That's the story I'm getting into. This is what the paparazzi do.
Bastard.
So Nick Lachey is getting out. That's flattering to you, Jimmy. You must have I don't know what your wife looks like, but the paparazzi think she's a fine piece of ass, obviously.
She is gorgeous.
So Nick Lachey, is right next to your wife, so they take the picture. You're in the same picture, but they crop you out to make it a better story.
Absolutely.
So you're part of that whole thing. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. I feel bad for him. I mean, unfortunately, in Hollywood, those the celebs out there in L.A., they have to play into that scene and go out and be seen and take the photos and take the abuse to really grow their worth in their industry. But man, that's a tough world. Those guys, I thought we had it bad with being at the racetrack with 150,000 fans at times. But the fans are awesome. Those camera people, they're out of control.
But you're kind of now getting into the realm of being a celebrity like that, where people want to know more about you. They want pictures of you. It's different than some of the NASCAR drivers. I mean, quite frankly, I don't think the press really wants to know what they're doing or get pictures of them. But you're kind of in that thing where you're a young guy, and they kind of want to make news.
Yeah, I mean it comes with the territory. I've watched Jeff Gordon go through some different things, and I'm sure so far it's all been very positive things for me, and I'm sure at some point there'll be something that I don't want to have happen. But it comes with it, and you try to walk down the road and live your life, but at the same time look over your shoulder every once in a while and make sure you're not doing anything stupid.
Very good. Do you ever ask to smell Nick's fingers?
Oh, God. Jesus. Oh,
why did he?
Why do I got to be the hole here? Opie.
Well,
now.
I mean, a lot of people feel sorry for him because he split with Jessica Simpson, but I'm imagining he's doing just fine, if not better. If I dare say.
Well, if he's in your
he's a
car,
numbers guy.
apparently you're friends with him. I would gather.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you talk.
He's doing well.
Is he doing all right?
Yeah, he's doing good. I mean, I do have to say he's a good dude, and he definitely loved his wife and cared for her, and it's been tough on him. But now that he has worked his way through all of those emotions, he's in full force living the life.
In full force. At least
He's
Jim's
out
gonna admit it.
looking. Wow, yeah. Jeez, imagine these guys just stepping into a bar atmosphere or some kind of a ski lodge. The girls probably just come flying at him.
When were you in Aspen?
We were there from Wednesday to Wednesday of the off weekend. So I've been away from home for 35 days. Today's my second day back at home in Charlotte. I'm in my office now, just signing a bazillion autographs that I'm way behind on my fan mail. So just trying to catch up on everything, but had a great time in Aspen snowboarding. There's a big group of drivers that went out there. And
Jimmy, tell me about it. We're just like you. I mean, before the show, Anthony and I had to sign an autograph for
Isn't
a
that
fan.
tough?
Yeah.
It was just like, I couldn't believe we had to actually sign one this
I
morning.
remember one day it was in the tens of autographs.
Yeah, we had about 10 in a row. We're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, will this ever end?
You guys sign? I just tell someone to put my name on there and send
you
it
guys
out.
should really think about that machine that
Yeah.
signs it for you, with tens of autographs.
And it kind of looks like a real signature.
Hey, right.
You
What
got
do
a MySpace?
You know what? I just shut down 2 or 3 of them where people were imposing
Fake
as
ones.
myself.
Don't you hate that? I actually had a couple of fake ones that I thought were me, and that's the only reason I made a MySpace. I think MySpace is making celebrities, or, I consider myself a celebrity, so I could say that. The celebrities, they're making duplicate pages so that the real guy has to get on there and make a page to say, hey, this is really me. 'Cause that's what I did.
That's just not a bad thought.
There were 2 fake Anthonys, and I read the
Were they
bio.
doing a good job impersonating you or a bad job?
Horrid. I believe they had me as some type of homosexual. Which,
How dare they?
it's not a bad thing, but it's not true.
You don't have to be politically correct to the NASCAR driver about homosexuality. They don't push that big time in NASCAR.
Yeah, they really
And
don't.
this
It's not part of the fan base?
No, this is not an L.A. writer you're talking to.
You're not going to see any rainbow decals on the
Rainbow
NASCAR.
decals on the fender?
No, on the NASCAR.
No.
All right. I didn't know.
You're talking
You're
to
learning.
the converted.
First you thought I was in a bush race, and now you realize there's no rainbow.
That was Opie.
I don't. Jimmy, you want me to make believe I know about NASCAR? I could do that for you. We're brilliant
working on
broadcasters,
your,
but
Hey, I remember when they switched crap over, and it used to be Grand National, and then they switched it and made the 2 series different back in like 1980.
That's cool.
I don't know the date, but you're making me look bad now.
Yeah, see, I remember stuff like that. I used to watch the old days of Earnhardt and Waltrip beating the shit out of each other. And, no offense to you kids out there, but that was some real racing, my friend.
Absolutely.
But that's before. That's almost like say,
I
that's like
know.
Shaquille calling in and us going, so what about the ABA?
Exactly. No, you guys are tearing it
But
up.
he won Daytona 500, and I
Yes.
was watching, and I'm like, hey, I interviewed that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good day for us, man. It's been an awesome start to the season. We've won 2 and finished second in the other one, so I don't know what happened that day, but we're
great.
really trying to improve.
How much luck is involved as opposed to, your crew being there for you? Because we all know when you ask somebody, why are you winning like this, they say, well, the crew and the car's running great, and I'm driving like better than I ever have. How much luck is there involved that something just doesn't happen?
Man, there's a ton of variables in our sport, from luck to you're only as good as the equipment, and then the equipment, needs a driver to be in there wheeling it, doing his job. So it really is more of a team sport than people.
Mm-hmm.
He's still there, don't worry.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
He's still there.
Wait.
But I can't get him back.
Hello?
Here he is. Jimmy, sorry about that.
There you go.
Did you guys lose me?
Someone's screwing with a phone.
Beautiful.
No,
Yeah,
I'm trying
great.
to.
Tight show you run there.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Please.
I'm trying to call my brother because he's a huge NASCAR fan.
Our team is awful over here. We'd fly. If this was an auto race, if this was a NASCAR race, we would be flying out of the pits and you'd see all 4 tires come flying off the car.
Falling off.
Yeah,
Nice.
and no one would want to take the blame for it.
But when they do work hard, they concentrate on the wrong shit. Like you pull into the pit and stupid Eric would get out the brushes and try to wash it. Fucking Ben would be rifling through the glove compartment looking for his package.
A lot of times it is a team effort, every one of your teams and stuff, but is there something that has ever happened during your career where you can definitely blame it on one guy, the reason you didn't win?
If somebody crashes you.
No, I mean like what your team, an equipment failure, somebody didn't put a hose clamp on right or something, and you go, you son of a bitch.
I can't say in my Cup career that I've had a mechanical failure.
Really?
Yeah.
Some
and we've had some different things that broke, and there were experimental parts that we knew had the potential of breaking, but we were willing to risk it. But I've never had just something random or stupid fall off one of my race cars.
You just jinxed yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Knocking on wood now.
Sorry, man. You gotta keep knocking.
Let's go to Greg in California. He's got a question for you. Greg.
Yeah.
You're on with Jimmy
Hey, good morning.
Johnson.
Hey, good morning, Jimmy.
Hey, buddy.
Glad to hear you on the radio with O&A.
That's
But O&A
back, man.
is missing one of the biggest things here. Nobody has started off the NASCAR year with a shotgun start like you've had this year. How does it feel to be standing right now in a position where you can break all records I mean, you've passed Dale Earnhardt Jr. with what he has accomplished. You are gaining on Tony Stewart, and in a short amount of time. You have never finished out of the points, NASCAR Winston Cup points, Nextel Cup points, out of the top 5 yet.
I
Wow.
appreciate it. It's been first of all a kick-ass career, great start to the season. I really don't look back or look at the stats. I just over the off season, I think I'd reflect a little bit, but I'm really going to save the reflecting for when I'm old and wrinkly and sitting there on the couch telling my grandkids how good I really was. But until then, I'm just chasing trophies down, and it's been a lot of fun. We've got a great car. We've learned a lot over the off season, and we're just we're hitting our stride, and hopefully we can maintain it over the whole season. We've been off to fast starts in other seasons and just didn't close the deal at the end of the year, and that's really what we're focusing on this year.
It's like you've been shot out of a cannon this year.
Thank you.
What a start you've got. Hey,
Thank you.
One last question.
Yes.
You pluck your eyebrows. They're always too perfect.
Too perfect.
You got them
Size
perfect
of them, they
eyebrows.
look like caterpillars parked on my head. I don't pluck them. I break out the chainsaw and carve on.
Yeah, I got the same problem. I got one brow from ear to ear. Listen, there's not as many Jimmy Johnson haters out here. I'm not a total 100% Jimmy Johnson fan, but I'm with you, and you're gaining my respect. But you know what? There's not haters out here like you say. So keep up.
No, I appreciate it. We
All
went
right.
through a tough time with Chad's suspension, and then the restrictor plate races that that took place last year. I caused a wreck, and one of them was blamed for 2 other wrecks, and I took a lot of heat. So I was speaking to those people, and it felt pretty good to be there in victory lane at Daytona, saying, "Hey, haters, look where I am, look what's happened." But I also do recognize that I have a big fan base, and then also other fans that respect what I do on the racetrack. And all I really care about at the end of the day is the respect. They don't have to buy my shirts. They don't have to be a full 48 fan, but just a little respect's all I'm asking for.
All right, let's go to Andy in Ohio. Andy,
Hey, what's up, man?
you're on with Jimmy Johnson.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
Hey,
man?
good. I'm right.
Good, man.
Hey, Sunday's race, man. Kansas led the most laps of the race. You led the most important one, the last one. If it was the other way around, and Kansas was trying to pass you, would there have been any foul play going on? You think?
Man, I lost one to Carl Edwards at Atlanta last year the same way, and I did everything that I could. I was on the lower line. Felt like I was going to beat him back to the start-finish line and didn't do it. So I feel for Matt. He's a great driver. We had a very clean, hard race, and I've been there before, so I feel his pain. And I think he will, in the future, protect the outside a little bit more, which is what I've learned to do in that situation. And I've won 2 now like that. I beat Bobby Labonte at the Coke 600 doing that, and then just won this one the other day.
Very good. Billy Mack has a question. Billy.
Jimmy, how are you doing, everybody?
Tired, man. I'm right.
Good.
Jimmy, congratulations. I was at Daytona. You ran a nice race there under the conditions. The weather was pretty crappy. But the way this season's starting off with these extra laps towards the end there, obviously, how does that affect the setup for you guys the last couple of laps with gas and everything else?
It really just depends on that particular run. The only thing we plan on is the fuel mileage, making sure that there's enough fuel in the car for green, white, checkered. After that, there's a couple things you can do inside the car. We have tire blowers that blow on the bead of the front tires and also on the brakes, on the front and rear tires, I should say. So what I was doing, I was already a little loose on that run, and I didn't want my front tires to have too much grip for a 2-lap shootout. So I shut my fans off to let the heat stay in the tires to try to keep the balance a little better, and off I went.
Billy?
Yeah.
That answer your question?
It sure does, guys. Thanks a lot, buddy.
All you're thinking is, what are they doing? Turn left.
Turn left, exactly.
Yeah, and this guy's, I better turn off the fans on my tires so my tires heat up.
Jimmy, when you're in the lead, are you ever tempted to just kind of, I don't know, throw things out the window? Maybe a few nails or golf balls, just to make it a little interesting.
Maybe it would make it interesting.
Maybe a banana peel so the car spins around in circles like it did in cartoons.
No, you're a little busy in there. I know it looks boring. Looks like we're going in circles, but
has that ever
sliding
happened?
a car at 200 miles an hour is quite an interesting job.
I used to hate that because I would do the same thing. I try to go slow now, but when I had my last Saturn, you should have seen me zipping down the turnpikes. Sometimes I'd hit 58, 60 miles an hour. People didn't know what to do.
Man, be careful.
Yeah, what an ass.
You know, we really don't know much about NASCAR. We're not going to try to fake it. But are there any stories out there like that? What's the craziest thing you heard ever happen during a race?
You know, one thing you mentioned stuff falling, thrown out the windows or falling off the cars. I know that Jimmy Spencer, I believe it was, needed a caution a few years ago. Maybe it was 5 or 6 years ago. And there's a piece of roll bar padding. We have roll bar padding to keep our arms from smacking the tubes inside the cockpit area. And he pulled a piece off and threw it out the window and got a caution. In the process, he was about ready to go a lap down, and he got a caution, which helped him out. And then I've also heard of cars in the old days. You know, you've got to meet. NASCAR didn't have such a tight tech inspection, and they would only weigh the cars before the event. So all the teams were filling their race cars full of lead shot. And when the car would drive off under the caution lights at the beginning of the race, the drivers would pull a pin and would drop all the lead shot out of the car. Now the car was 20 or 30 pounds lighter.
That rocks.
Wait, what's lead shot? How do you do that?
It's like when you're having a shotgun shell.
Yeah, exactly. Lead shot out of a shotgun shell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Jimmy, you do a show on XM for a half hour.
Yes.
The guy's busy.
I understand. But NASCAR is alive and well on XM. It's XM 144, and you do a show from 7 to 7:30 on the East Coast time, I should say.
Yes, we're having a blast with it. I have to give you guys some props. Radio is much more difficult than I ever imagined. Without having a camera there, there's a lot more that you have to do to tell a story, and I'm learning it slowly, having a great time. XM's been a great partner, and looking forward to growing it.
You know what it's like to tell a joke and have it hit the wall at about 200 miles an hour? It's not fun. It sounds like this.
I guess it would be like us trying to get into a NASCAR.
Oh, I know. Just a disaster.
No, not really. All you do for joke bombs on the radio is you just tough it out. Riding a car and doing a man's sport like that, your fucking life is on the line. We do nothing. Just three zilches sitting here.
We're wimps, Jimmy.
I have a question for you. How do you pee in a race car? I know it's like a question you probably heard, but I piss like awful. I can't stop. Do you have to hold it, or like I know astronauts? They say at times will just piss if they're sitting there.
You know, I've heard that some drivers just let it happen, but I have a pretty good system where I've never needed to go in the car. Believe me, I've gotten out of the car and have run to the bathroom, but one thing is we sweat so much inside the cars that if you stop drinking 2 or 3 hours before the event, you can't put enough in your system to overcome what you're sweating.
Oh, wow.
So that's the key.
Very good.
Thank you very
Jimmy,
much.
Thank you, and
hate
continue.
to ruin your thought. I mean, I know you guys
Success.
think a lot of me, and you wanted to have this on me that I pissed myself.
No, but I heard that I was surprised. I heard astronauts have had to do that, like when we're waiting for a countdown. If there's like delay or something, they can't get up and just piss. So like
you saw that in The Right Stuff. That was
Okay.
from 1962.
Yeah, that was in a movie.
Jesus
Man,
Christ,
sorry.
Jimmy. You think they're doing that now?
Well, I didn't say I heard it in astronaut school. Okay, I saw it in the movie. So what? I didn't say I have the inside skinny.
That's different when you're surfing and you need to warm up your wetsuit. I mean, I've done it then, but never in the race car.
Oh, really? Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a thing.
Anybody
Shark
surf?
repellent too.
All right, Jimmy.
No.
All right, never mind.
I live in New York. Where the hell are we going surfing?
I have,
Yeah, exactly.
Out east.
Nowhere.
Out east
I
on
surf
Long
the
Island.
Hudson River.
Yeah, you just jump in with your surfboard and you don't move. You just stay on top like it's concrete.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever seen a shark
Yes.
when you were surfing?
Not surfing, scuba diving. I've seen plenty of sharks.
Yeah. So
That's
have
a
I.
man's man.
Yes.
Oh. Jimmy Johnson, a man's man.
This is not getting any better for me.
Surfing.
All right, Jimmy,
scuba
we'll let you
diving,
go.
race
Thank
car
you so
driving.
much.
I've worked hard to build up a good reputation, and you guys have officially destroyed it.
We're trying, Jimmy. We don't feel good about ourselves.
All right, Jimmy Johnson,
you.
everyone. Thank you, Jimmy.
Bye.
Later.
There he goes.
Scuba diving, surfing.
And there he goes, Jimmy Johnson. That's cool. I was trying to get my brother on the phone. I think he wimped out.
Did
He's
he?
like the biggest NASCAR fan ever. So I called F.H. Riley's to get him on the phone so I could, ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
That would have made his day. But what was happening? They were just hanging up the phone?
Picking up the phone, hanging up.
Yeah.
Busy day.
Nah, they knew I was on to him.
Oh, is that it?
I think he might have panicked. It's too bad.
Hey, where were we?
You want to do the Keith Olbermann thing?
Yeah, see, look. Trying to keep organized.
We've been more organized lately.
Fucking Scarface was more organized when he was trying to like get the place together after he pissed off Sosa. I gotta get organized. He puts the phone back.
Gotta get organized.
He's doing a fucking.
Put the phone back.
He's doing a pile of coke and he puts the phone back. Gotta get organized.
Gotta get organized.
And he clicks the phone back on while fucking 80 murderers are showing up with machine guns. He's making sure the phone is on its fucking earpiece.
That is ridiculous.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah, it certainly does.
I have to tinkle.
No.
I gotta go.
No.
Go in your pants like the astronauts do when they're sitting waiting for liftoff.
That really was dumb of me.
I remember. I saw that.
I just want to ask a question.
I know.
So we got the audio of where you want to go with this, Ant?
I just want to hear the
O'Reilly thing?
O'Reilly chastising his audience, treating them like infants. Because some guy called up and I guess mentioned Keith, and he got mad and started threatening them with all kinds of legal things that could not possibly happen. You can say whatever you want on the radio, and it just shows he's another one of these stuffed shirt assholes, O'Reilly.
With a big cock and a loofah sponge.
Apparently.
He's competing with Keith Olbermann. Keith's having a lot of fun with his TV show and gives it to Bill on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And O'Reilly's not too happy about that.
A caller got through to O'Reilly's radio show yesterday. He insists he used no foul language, that all he did was mention my name, compliment my show, and ask, "Why are you always smearing him, Bill?" And the host, using the dump button all talk radio shows have and the 7-second delay, cut him off. We're not certain what actually got on the air, but this was what was posted on O'Reilly's website as the air check for that part of the show.
Orlando, Florida. Mike, go.
Hey, Bill, I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure.
I like to listen to you during the day. I think Keith Olbermann's show.
There you go. Mike is he's a gone guy. You know, we have your phone numbers, by the way. So if you're listening, Mike, we have your phone number, and we're going to turn it over to Fox Security, and you'll be getting a little visit.
Maybe Mike is from the mothership.
No, maybe Mike's going to get in big trouble, because we're not going to play around. When you call us, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we do have your phone number. And if you say anything untoward, obscene, or anything like that, Fox Security then will contact your local authorities, and you will be held accountable.
What a
Held
bully.
accountable.
Fair?
That's fair.
Another
So
bully.
just all you guys who do this kind of a thing, you know, I know some shock jocks, whatever, you will be held accountable. Believe it. We'll be right back.
Okay, the guy probably did curse. The guy probably said like shit or whatever. Please, maybe we have certain listeners that enjoy Bill O'Reilly's show. I would never encourage anyone to call another radio show while recording and curse and see what Fox Security does.
No, because Fox Security, you don't want them.
Yeah, they're very scary people.
Oof.
They're really scary.
Yep. Hello, it's Fox Security. Did you say shit on the telephone?
You know what I picture with Fox Security is any of the movies that go behind the scenes at like the movie sets and stuff, and the security guards always chasing people around in a golf cart, never catching them. You know, like that whole thing, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure,
or Gary Coleman with a badge.
Yeah, that type of scene, or things like that. That's kind of the security I picture.
But they contact local authorities.
Local authorities.
That means in your town.
And you will be. And then he's thinking, he goes, I can't say arrested here. That's
held accountable.
Held accountable.
Did you call Mr. O'Reilly a cunt toes? Yes, I did. We thought so. Good day, sir.
What a baby.
He's a fucking baby.
Fox Security. Hannity and Combs come to your house with billy clubs. Now, there is a serious part to this. What do you mean we have your phone numbers? What do you mean you'll be getting a little visit? It's a radio show. Even if a caller swears, it's a radio show. Radio show over here, trip to Gitmo over there. Several of the callers now claim they have been contacted by someone identifying himself as the director of Fox News Security. We'll get to the legalities in a moment with a former prosecutor. First, there's this giddying aspect of seeing the host's trolley coming completely off the tracks, merely when my name gets mentioned.
I love Keith Olbermann.
Is he funny?
I watch him on a regular basis. I think he's a lot of fun.
Somebody actually called up some people as Fox Security. Could you imagine the pests getting a call back and saying, this is Fox Security, with the Fox people thinking they're going to be getting them.
Yeah.
And what kind of response they would get?
I really hope that Dugout Doug and those guys
of course.
have dealt with this. Maybe they have some recordings of Fox Security
Fox
calling
Security.
them.
I'd love to hear
it. Yes.
It's hysterical.
Bill O'Reilly's live from noon to 2 p.m. on the East Coast. 1-877-9-NO-SPIN. 1-877-9-NO-SPIN.
It's not an attack. We just lob a few over the wall.
We want to see if he loses his mind today.
Yeah.
XM 168, by the way.
Just lob a couple of grenades over the wall.
I'm not a part of this. You think I want Fox Security contacting me?
I'm a little scared myself.
And can we get Keith Olbermann on the program?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I like the guy a lot. No, you didn't. I'm not buying it. See?
Stop it.
Your acting skills are a little.
No,
you're just yesterday.
I talked to him. Where you going?
So here's Susan Phelan, former Connecticut state prosecutor, on legality of calling a radio show and being a pest.
Right?
He seems to think, or wants his listeners to think, that if they don't cooperate, they can get into some kind of legal trouble with Fox Security. Joining me now, former Connecticut state prosecutor Susan Phelan. Thanks for your time tonight.
Hi, Keith.
Having done call-in, I've done call-in radio off and on since 1975. I thought I knew this thing pretty well. The caller can only get into trouble if he threatens a violent or illegal act, right?
The only person that's going to get in trouble here is Bill O'Reilly. He's lost the plot entirely. To think that you can commandeer local law enforcement to be your personal henchman because you don't like something a caller said on the air is absolutely outrageous and absurd. It's an abuse of the media. It's an abuse of law enforcement. And he's now the one engaging in threatening behavior. You can't do that. He's crossed the line. What did the caller say that's obscene? Keith Olbermann? I don't think so.
Even if the guy cursed, it's not the guy's responsibility to not curse. It's your responsibility to not let it go out over the air.
Right. You can't. It's not even the jock's. Like, if a jock was on the air and cursed, the jock doesn't get fined by the FCC. The station does. It's the station's responsibility to keep curses off the air. It's certainly the last person in the chain is the caller that cursed. You know, you're not going to get in trouble for that.
There's certain language, like I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother had a big falling out with her friend Ruth.
Ruth.
And I didn't know what happened, and I said, my grandmother told me that they had an argument, and at the end of it, Ruth questioned her integrity, and Ruth said, "You're full of turkey."
You're full of turkey. She said that?
Well, I look back, I realized I was a young lad. Ruth probably said she was full of shit. But my grandmother was protecting me and said, "You're full of turkey." So for years, I never understood why they would fight over "you're full of turkey." My grandmother was giving me a bunch of bull turkey.
Malarkey, I think.
She was giving me a bunch of bull turkey.
Bull turkey.
I'd like to kick her right in the chicken gizzard. That's, by the way, that's nice talk for Con.
We got more audio.
The people behind this say that one of their callers, spinners they call themselves, actually got calls today from somebody identifying himself as a former New York City policeman who is now director of Fox News Security, who advised that organizer that if you call anyone too often in this circumstance, you can be charged with harassment. Is that a scare tactic, or is there anything to that particular claim, the idea of harassment?
I think that's a scare tactic because what is too often? If one called and said every single day, I love you," and he likes your message, is that too often? Is it only too often when he doesn't like what you're saying? The harassment here is coming from Bill O'Reilly to that caller. That caller calling up and saying your name on there. How is that harassment? It's a public radio show. He's inviting people to call in. That person has a First Amendment right to say your name on the air. Bill O'Reilly doesn't have a First Amendment right to threaten a visit from law enforcement as if this person's committed some kind of criminal behavior.
He just can't take it.
He can't. Baby. He lost his mind. The trolley off the track line. Love that.
He's full of
Is there some line that you can cross when you're being asked to call into a radio show to be a participant?
Of course, one's First Amendment right ends where somebody else's nose begins. You can say what you want to say, but you can't use threatening behavior. You can't say, I'm going to kill you. If something like that is said on the air, that's clearly a threat. That's more than harassment. There can be an on-air stalker, but can you really tell me that calling into the Bill O'Reilly show and using the name Keith Olbermann is harassment, is stalking, is crossing the line, incites violence, is obscene or foul or illegal?
Her voice should be illegal.
And for a host to threaten the power of the media, Fox News' security force, to call local law enforcement, to knock on your door and say, hey, buddy, you're in trouble because you said Keith Olbermann's name on my show, is patently absurd. And the only one that's going to get in trouble on this one is Bill O'Reilly.
I'll bet you the guy, something tells me the guy cursed. The guy probably said, you suck, your show fucking. The guy probably did curse. But even with that, tough turkey, Bill.
He dumped out, and you
tough
move on.
Turkey, Bill.
You get on there and start threatening with all kinds of legal mumbo jumbo, and
everyone knows Bill O'Reilly's a tight ass.
Yeah, stop.
He's a real tight ass.
You know, this is becoming a very uncomfortable work environment, and I'd like to say that the profanity should stop, or I may take legal action.
All right.
Shut up.
Could Bill O'Reilly, could Fox News be charged with harassment of some sort?
Well, I think that this has to be investigated. I think if Bill O'Reilly, in fact, made that threat on the air and, in fact, followed it up with someone from Fox Security and, in fact, local law enforcement was called, I think that has to be investigated because that is an abuse of Bill O'Reilly's power, and it's an attempt, literally, to commandeer local law enforcement to be his personal henchman so that he can be the censor, the arbiter of what's allowed to be said on his show. How can it be illegal? How can it be a crime to say Keith Olbermann on the Bill O'Reilly show?
How great would it be if Bill O'Reilly was arrested, tried, convicted, and raped?
Wonderful.
All in a 1 hour period.
Yep.
All right, let's say hi to Lon in Georgia. Lon.
Yeah.
What's
How
up?
are
What's
you,
going on?
Lon?
Hey,
Lungin
man.
of Mice and Men. Thanks for calling the program. Stupid
Jimmy,
name.
What's going on? Nah, man, it's a good name.
Yeah, it is.
Nah, I
1910.
Lon Chaney. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was wanting to talk about Keith Olbermann. You know, he was one of the loudest critics of the Club Gitmo shit, you know, about the abuse of the prisoners down there. You know, he'd be on there nearly crying about it and shit. He's a fucking pussy.
All right, so he's probably, is he a liberal? So what? I mean, I'm sure maybe either way, he's still right about this one.
Don't like his politics. You could still think, you know, he's funny.
Well, hell, he might be funny, but still, I mean, he's just a fucking pussy.
Dude,
I don't understand the love for him, you know.
Dude, because he's look, politically, maybe he's repulsive, but so what? The issue here is if he still has a sense of humor, and O'Reilly's a boob.
How come so many people base their relationships
Yes.
on political affiliation? Like
Why do I do it?
This guy sees this guy as just a pussy and he hates him, and I don't see where the love comes from because of his politics. I could give a shit if the guy. There are plenty of liberal scumbags out there and conservative scumbags. And there is a couple of liberals that I find very funny and don't care about their politics. I don't agree with them at all, but you can still find them funny. You can't even find humor in somebody that is a liberal.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can.
Laugh at him as I'm
Opie.
shooting at him.
Huh?
Opie's a good, funny liberal.
He's not really a liberal, though.
Well, compared to this guy?
Yeah.
He's probably a liberal.
I'm not a liberal.
Hey, Anthony.
Compared to this guy, I'm a liberal. Jesus Christ.
Hey, add me
I'm
to
a
your
I don't
friends
give a
list.
shit guy.
Yes, sir?
Hey, add me to your friends list on MySpace. I've been, I hadn't heard from you in like 3 days.
I know. I just ran through all of my messages. Sorry, I had to blow out 36 pages of messages. I just had to blow them out. I answered maybe 5 of them because I don't have my computer set up. So they've been building up for a couple of days. But I added all the friends, and I'm not going to have my computer for a while, so the MySpace thing is going to slow down. Be patient.
My brother wants to be in your top 8.
I don't have any humans in my top 8. I have
when you go back to humans,
the clock, a cracker, a shirt.
I saw that, but when you go back to humans, he would like you to throw him a bone and be in your top 8.
All right, when I go back to humans.
Do me a favor.
Well,
excuse me, sir. Can you hit that button for what I almost said? The bell, please.
Oh.
Attaboy, thanks.
Oh, okay.
Hey, disregard my FU line then, message in, Anthony.
All right. Yeah, I moved. I got to set up my computer stuff.
All right, very good. So we'll try to get Keith Olbermann on the show.
That'd be cool. One of the things about these political talkers on Fox and on CNN and things like that, and the pundit shows are Colbert, the Colbert Report. Have you seen that?
Oh, absolutely.
It is so goddamn funny. Really hysterical show.
Completely just mocking Bill O'Reilly on a nightly basis.
Yeah, it mocks all of those kind of types of shows where it's not news, it's one guy, his name is the show, and they talk about politics. And he is so smarmy. He plays it perfectly. He plays the sarcastic. He's supposed to be like a heavy, hardcore right-wing conservative, but it's so sarcastic. And he does it perfectly. It is one of the funniest shows on television right now.
He is really a funny guy.
Yeah.
However, it's just so typical of Comedy Central. That's what they put on. Nick DiPaolo's pilot was supposedly very funny and didn't get picked up.
Really?
Of course not, because it's not a liberal point of view. I don't care if the listeners get mad. That's what Comedy Central does always. However, Colbert is hilarious.
The character he portrays is perfect for that, though. He's got that kind of where he almost looks reputable as this newscaster, like they all do. They put the suit on and stuff, and you're the part now. You're the guy. My favorite is when he has guests on. And every other show, they invite the guest on, and the guest comes out, and the audience applauds, and the guest bows or waves and sits down, and they have an interview. His format, the guest is already seated at a table far away from his desk. He introduces the guest's name, stands up, and applauds and bows himself as he walks over because he is the most important person on the show. And he bows and thanks the audience for applauding him as he sits down with the guest.
That's like Andy Kaufman stuff.
Oh,
man.
it's beautiful.
You ever see
Funny.
Andy Kaufman mock talk shows?
Yeah, where he's like 10 feet above the guest in a desk.
He's in a desk that's 10 feet off the ground, and
Yeah.
the guest is way below.
Talking down to him.
to show a power position.
Perfect.
Hey, by the way, why don't we get Tony Clifton on the show? I have contact information.
Yeah, we
for
can
him.
get Tony on. Sure,
I would
why
love
not?
to have him on there.
Hey, Keith the Cop, what's up?
Morning, gentlemen.
Hi, Keith.
Hey.
I'm just going over the New York State penal law in regards to the aggravated harassment section. And when you actually read this penal law section, it's pretty much written for every single fan of our show.
Oh, really?
And it says a person is guilty of aggravated harassment in the second degree when, with intent to harass, annoy, threaten, or alarm another person, he or she, and then it says communicates with a person anonymously or otherwise by telephone, telegraph, mail, any other form, in a manner likely to cause annoyance or alarm.
Yeah, but I don't think that fits a radio show that is accepting and soliciting phone calls from people. That's probably private. You know, if you call a private line like you would call a radio station, you'd get in trouble on a daily basis.
Right.
But if it's a radio station and a talk show host, I think that's different.
Where you're encouraging people to call the show.
Right.
You're giving out the phone
Yeah,
number and
yeah.
everything.
I used to make prank calls where I'd call somebody and I'd go, "Do you have Prince Albert in a can?"
Right.
And they'd say, "Yes, I do."
And then what would happen?
I would say, "Yeah, well, then why don't you get AIDS?" And the ironic thing is I did this when I was 10 and there was no AIDS.
All right. Hey, can we
I was
save
ahead of my time.
Can we save the Train Kills Miss Deaf Texas?
Yes.
For
We're
tomorrow?
going to have to, as well as the gift giving, because I'm here tomorrow and I'm gone Friday. I think I'm only here for 3 hours
Tomorrow you give out the gifts, right?
I give out the gifts.
The poll is up on opieandanthony.com. You, the listener, decide who should get the glove that is signed by Jake LaMotta and others, and who should get the really cheesy, cheap hat that is also signed by Jake LaMotta.
Please vote for me, please.
And tonight,
Look, Opie's ahead of me.
and if you want to vote for Anthony, you can go to Jim Norton's MySpace. There's an Anthony section.
No.
I'll be at the Stress Factory tonight with Florentine for a benefit. Good cause. Come down.
It's a very good cause. Excuse me. Yes. All right. All right, we'll have to save the other stuff for tomorrow. We didn't even talk about Ice Cube starring in Welcome Back, Kotter.
Many things. American Idol. I don't see the kid getting kicked off. See you tomorrow.
Bucky.